Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a liftoff.
Yes. Once again, we have liftoff. I want to thank you for listening to another episode of the Big Truth Podcast. And today I got my brother Mike Gallo on. You may know him from Agnostic Front. You may know him as playing with guitar and Stigma. You might know him from his blistering art career as Gallo Originals. Or you just might know him as a good guy on the streets of New York. So say what's up, Mike. How you doing, bud?
What's up, man? Great to talk to you, man. I miss everybody. I miss life. I miss seeing people and just, I miss it all. You know what I'm saying? The shows, the human contact. It's the world. It's wild times right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
It's crazy. And I just, me and my family really just pretty much been home chilling here. Because we're all told to stay home and then there's so many theories on what's going on, and my head is spinning from just, talking to so many different people and, what they think about what's going on and what's really going on, or who the hell knows? It's just, I don't know. I don't know where to begin.
Dude, believe me, I know. Believe me, you just touched on a bunch of shit right off the rip, but yeah, 100%, bro. Like, I'd rather be sitting across from you having some drinks, doing this live, face to face, and which we could have done if like the bowl had been going on and we got to see everybody, mm-hmm. That was my big plan. I was just going to set up a room, come out like a day or two early, get a room and just set up and just have everyone come through and be able to do things face to face. But again, we're still on lockdown and we're in a weird time right now, even because, for example, like Massachusetts is still pretty locked down, but Rhode Island's opened up. With some regulations and everything. So, like, for example, and not just to hop on this, but, me and Dan's tattoo shop and Ryan is literally 7 miles outside of or maybe 10 at the most outside of Providence. And so we're shut down, but someone can, and all the restaurants are only takeout only still, and the bars are shut down, but someone can drive 10 minutes over the border and, go have a beer and go to a restaurant and go get a tattoo. And so it doesn't even make any sense. So, like, no matter what narrative you choose to follow and how seriously you take the COVID stuff, the response to it is 100% fucking asinine, and it's a complete failure on part of local, state, federal government. You know what I mean? On all of it, and I don't know anyone that can agree that they're doing the right thing at this point. And when it first came out, and we were all everyone kind of gave it the benefit of the doubt, like, hey, this is some serious shit. Let's take it serious. We did, and 3 months later, it's like, it's just all right.
Did we do the right thing?
Yeah. All right, now do the right thing and let everyone open. And we can't. And I'm not one of those people that downplays. Kind of what we were talking about earlier. Like, if I say, like, I should have the right to open my business and operate at my own risk, and people can choose to come in and wear a mask or not wear a mask or whatever, it's fine.
Yep.
And that's the one thing. That's what it comes down to, is that the government has taken that choice of basic things away from us. Like, and that's all it comes down to. Like, hey, whatever your thoughts are on COVID, it 100% isn't as bad as they thought. And that's not to discount anyone who lost friends or family
Absolutely.
to it.
I know some people that actually, and it's like, I think that a lot of people, some people don't take it serious because nothing ever happened to them. But then other things have happened to other, I know people that lost their family members.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to, it's hard to sound heartless to those who did actually, lose it. But, like, if you look at it in reality, and I'm not saying I know 100% about all the specs and all the numbers, and, but, like, I mean, don't we lose just as many people to the common flu? than we did from COVID. I mean, I don't know. I don't know 100%, so I'm not going to talk out of my ass. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's really crazy. Was it worth it for the whole world to destroy the economy? Like, and then you get on the other tip as far as like, was this man made? Was this done to destroy the economy? To do this? To do that? There's so many angles. There's so many. It's wild. My head is completely spinning. It's still spinning. I wish I could say that I do some of the answers. Who the fuck knows? We don't know. It's just we don't know. Did we do the right thing by closing everything? How is life going to be after this? There's another question. They're even talking about they probably won't even reopen schools in September.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Now
it's like. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh no. This is. I'm here to interview you, man. You talk as much as you want. It's crazy. I'm just agreeing with you, man. I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah, and the thing about it is, right? I was like you, and I know I still get like that, like head spinning a million miles an hour, and then I just stepped out of it. I stopped. I don't watch the news.
Me either.
I'll read up stuff. I'll try and read statistics, or I'll search statistics online, with the caveat that everybody knows statistics can be manipulated and fucked with and padded and presented in a way that tells its own story. And we've all heard about the funny business that's going on with hospitals and morgues and whatnot, and we don't even need to beat that to a death. But what I did was, we're never going to know where it came from, how it originated, or what. So I just try and stick to what's in front of me. Like, yes, we got hit. Yes, COVID is real, but COVID is not as bad as we initially thought it was going to be. So is it worth it to continue shutting it down? And again, no disrespect to anybody that lost friends or family or has been affected by it. But those people have to understand that is such a small percentage of people compared to the rest of the population. Is it really worth it? Dude, I got shattering news today. I'll say it on here. My father called me today, says he has it. And he went to the hospital. He said, "Hey, look, I just want to let you know that I have COVID. They said that I've probably had it about 6 weeks and that I'm almost out of it." And he's 70.
Have you seen him?
No, I've seen him in that time. I've seen him in the last 6 weeks, but so the thing is like, it affects me too. And I'm not saying this in a rash way, but just because I know my father has it, and I know he's doing well, so it's not as bad as someone whose parent is on a deathbed or on a respirator in a hospital or something like that. But like, is it worth shutting the whole economy down over something that has a mortality rate of like 0.02% over?
I know.
And in that mortality rate, it's very much skewed towards a more elderly population as well. Not everybody, like our boy Meg, dude, we know a dude that passed from it, and I'm all for common sense measures to protect and help people quarantine that are more at risk for it, like people with lung issues or just general immune system issues. But just the chaos of it. Never mind like the whole situation with riots going on and whatnot. It's just the world is 2020 is a fucking bizarre fucking year, man.
I call it the 2020 shit show. And I remember even when this whole thing first went down, they're just like talking to my wife and talking to whoever about it. And I'm like, you lock people down, people are going to go fucking wild soon. People are going to go fucking wild. It's just like even just telling people what to do. You can't come out. We can't. People are going to go fucking nuts. Domestic violence is at an all-time high. It's not normal. It's not to trap people in the house. You can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. And then look, a couple of incidents happen, and the next thing you know, the world is on fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like shit is hot right now. People are heated. People are more angry than ever just because, shit's fucked up. That ain't fucking. That's for sure. You know what I mean? But this is just a total. I knew something like this was going to happen. I just didn't know, what would set it off, but it sure did.
Oh, yeah.
This is shit is hot right now. It really is hot. And there's a lot of topics you can bring up, and a lot of things we could talk about. And I'm into it. But it's it's just shit. I just I wonder if how my touring is even going to be. I wonder if I'm ever going to be able to go back on the road. And there's two ways I kind of look at it. I kind of look at it. It's either going to fuck everything up, or people are just going to be so sick of being in the house. Maybe it'll be great. You know what I mean? Maybe things will just. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty interested to see what's going to happen. Our whole tour schedule was pushed ahead a year. We don't have anything going on till April. Even Roger
April of
tried
next year?
to. Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So even Roger tried to get shows for like December. Something. And our booking agent was just like, nah, man, it ain't happening. It ain't.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It's we got to wait it out and see what happens. And I don't know.
Yeah.
See what happens. I'm really interested to see what's going to go on. And, I mean, I'll tell you the truth. We did so much touring last year.
I know.
It was insane. And I think it's the most touring that I've done. I mean, since like, I don't know, the days when we were younger, you know what I mean? Like we were on the road, constantly with family, I was like, man, I was kind of bugging out on the road. I was like, this is a lot. It's insane. But we had wound up getting Stormy as a booking agent, which was great. I always kind of wanted that, but sometimes, she really put us to work.
Oh yeah, yeah. She
doing it.
Yeah, she's one of the top booking agents because of that reason. She's gonna put you to work. Yeah, I was talking
Absolutely.
to Craig earlier when he was on one of the early episodes of the podcast, and he said something like, "You guys did 200 and something dates last year, or something like 200."
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely at least 230 shows.
Yeah,
at least which is great. But it's just like it's tough when you got a wife and kid at home.
Yeah,
it's not.
sure.
When I was younger, sure, sign me up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Now it's just a little bit. It's not as. I mean, it's tough. You get older. It's tough doing it every day. I mean, I don't know how Stigma does it. That guy's inhuman.
Yeah, I know.
He just he just loves it. But I'm kind of in a sense like I'm kind of happy being home. I'm enjoying this time home.
Yeah.
At first, when the first kicked in, for the first time in my life, to be honest with you, like I don't know what it kind of offset me. Like at one point, my wife was like, "Are you all right?" She's just like, "I think you're depressed." Like, I've never seen you like this, and I was like, "I'm not depressed." I was just pissed. I'm like, and I was thought to myself, "Am I depressed?" Like I don't know. Like I don't think I honestly was. I think it's the first time in my life that my head wasn't in the right place. I was just angry about what was going on. I was just, I don't know, but then I had to sit back and just be like, man, be honest with you. Like, I have a good life. I live in a beautiful home. My wife is incredible. My daughter's great. Like, there's so many people out there that really, honestly, this is really fucked them up. Now, it may fuck me up in the future, but right now I'm okay.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who like, even Roger was like, I've been talking to him, like, he just got unemployment. Like, he's like, I got no money coming in. He's like, I'm freaking out.
Sure,
it's just like, he's like, he got a couple of side jobs or whatever, but it's just like, like, he is freaking out. And there's a lot of people that have lost their jobs that it's like really, really, really fucked. Their life is fucked right now. And I'm like, right now, I'm pretty lucky. I'm in a good place, and I just snapped out of it. I snapped out of it. I started working out again. I lost 10 pounds. I kind of got back to myself again. I feel better again, but it fucked me up in the beginning, but I don't know. Sometimes you have to go through some shit to kind of realize that, like, I'm fucking pretty fortunate, man. I'm lucky. I really am. I'm lucky to have the life I have, to have the friends I have, to, the family I have, and I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky. I really am,
Yeah, and I agree with you, man. I think this has been a good kind of pause on reality, and it's given time for people to kind of self-reflect and kind of realize both like the good things they have and maybe the bad things that they need to work on or whatever. But I mean, if you like, it sounds like you've used this time very wisely, and I hope everyone has, and didn't just sit there and play video games or some shit, you know?
I know.
And because like, you know, never again in our lifetime, I don't think there's going to be a point where you just get forced time off where the world is shut down. Like, you know what I mean? Like if this was like forced time, if you had 3 months off, but everything was open, it would be a whole different situation because you'd still be out and about doing shit. So it was weird to be forced home. I mean, I'm lucky in that, you know, motorcycle, like vehicle repair was an essential service, and we do that. So we got to stay open, but the tattoo shop didn't. And so, you know, me, Dan, and Ryan haven't been at the tattoo shop, but I still got to get out of the house every day. And I'm like, I'm still working 6-7 days a week. So it doesn't feel too different than me, other than I can't go see my boys, or like the bowl's canceled, or like I can't go out, and, you know, but whatever, like, you know, like I'm with you in that, like, you know what? I still talk to my boys. I still talk to my friends and family and my brothers, like, so it's like I just can't see him as much. So, but you know, that's the big downer. But it's been like I've got a bunch of shit done around the house. You know what I mean? You know, like, you know, so you know, it's a good thing and a bad thing. But if you use this time wisely to kind of you know, and you know, we're not out of it yet. So the remaining time you have, you know, definitely try and make good use of it. And it's like you said, the scary thing is like when this opens up, like we don't even know what the economic ramifications are going to be yet, right? Like, like we can kind of think about it, but it hasn't hit us yet because, you know, people now, a lot of people have that unemployment and that extra $600 a week, so everything seems good. But when those when it's time to pay the piper, like, and you know, we just went $4 trillion more in debt, you know, like, you know, what the fuck is going to happen? You know, like you know, I get
the 600 runs out soon, I think, right? Like
I think so. I mean, of course they'll
I don't know.
They'll probably extend it if they need to, but
I hope they do.
I mean, if everything stays shut down, but it's like you said too. A lot of people, when this is done, might not even have a place to go to work. That their job might be shut down. Like small businesses are shutting down left and right, and no one's, you know, and I don't expect everyone. I just say it because, you know, obviously I'm a small business owner, so I have to kind of speak out for it, because a lot of people who just do regular 9-to-5 jobs and work for big corporations or whatever, and they're just sitting home or working from home and getting their checks, and, you know, they know they're going back to work. They're not thinking about that as much, but this is devastating to small business. And when I say small business, I don't mean the higher end of that, like the 500 employee small business. I'm talking about the mom and pop operations, which was a struggling thing in America anyway. So to have it, this is kind of like a death blow to a lot of that, and things are going to look weird when we come out of it. And I hope it. There's something in place.
Because we're kind of in. I mean, this is only the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, we don't even know what's to come. You know, like of the whole economy and how how many jobs are going to be lost, and I feel like a lot of people. I think it's going to change a lot of stuff as far as like more people working from home. And just try to, I guess, what they're going to try to do as far as, you know, working, you know, is just make less. I mean, they're just going to try to have less people together. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is that the plan? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And then there's the whole vaccine thing you can get into.
Yeah,
which is another thing.
Just a quick aside before we get into that. I kind of hope more people work from home, because I would love less crowded roads. just from a purely selfish standpoint, you know. But
I hear you.
The vaccine thing is weird, because that's one of those situations, if you talk about it and you don't say the exact right thing, everyone wants to hear, they're going to put you in the anti-vaxxer, like fucking rabbit hole camp. And I hate that. But at the same time, do I trust, you know, like when you hear creepy things that Bill Gates is saying, like this isn't going to end until everybody in the world is vaccinated. And then you hear things like mandatory vaccines and this and that. That's a crazy thing to think about, because you have to stop and like step out of the fear that is embracing the country right now, because mandatory vaccine on something that still has less of a death rate than the regular flu. That's all you really got to say. Like, is that the America you signed up for? It's not the America I signed up for. And all these punk rock motherfuckers are the biggest letdown ever, because they're the ones that are so for it and like freaking out about it. And you know, if you come out against like the vaccine, you know, because here's the thing. There's not ample time frame to really develop and really study. You know, clinical trials on vaccines go on for fucking years. I worked in that world. They go on for years. So anything that comes out in the next year is going to be so rushed and botched, and they're forcing everyone to get it. My natural inclination is to look at the money behind it. Who's profiting from this? Because those are the scumbag motherfuckers pushing this agenda. And whether it's the Gates Foundation or somebody else, you need to be critical of these situations. And that doesn't mean you have to be a crazy conspiracy theorist wearing a tinfoil hat. Just means you need to be a realist in this fucking day and age, and you got to do some critical thinking and question authority. That's punk rock first day of school lesson 101. And a lot of people seem to forget that, and they just go along with the narrative. And you know, I get it. You know, if you're watching the news, you know, you're going to be scared as shit. If you step out of the news and just live your normal life for a week, I guarantee you're going to see it ain't that different than it was. Like, there's not like piles of dead bodies on the streets and like, you know, little malnourished kids with gout bellies running around. And, you know, the world is still pretty, you know, there's not 28 days later where you're going to walk out and there's no one on the street but zombies. The world isn't that different, you know, and you got to look at things critically and with an eye that's like free of emotion. Just kind of look at things logically, and then really take a deep breath. And I don't even know. I didn't even mean to get on a tirade this early in the podcast.
But, you know, it's crazy because, like, you know, I talk to a lot of my friends that are very anti-vaccine. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I can't say that I am very super anti-vaccine. Like, I vaccinated my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, but that study's been going on for years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's some shady shit about it, without a doubt. You know what I mean? But for us to like, exactly, they're going to want to push a vaccine that we've never used before, and they want to put, you know, they want to put this, inject this into our bodies, and like, you know, goddamn well that it's a whole, you know, the pharmaceutical market. It's legal drug dealing. You know what I mean? Like, that's all it is, you know? And you know that they're all tied in together, and, you know, it's just scary to think that, I don't know how I feel that they're going to make us, force us to take a vaccine. I don't really know how I feel about that. I'm not not happy about it. You know, me traveling, you know, they're going to say I need to take it, otherwise you can't go nowhere.
Sure.
So I'm going to be almost forced. To be honest with me, I don't give a shit about myself, to tell you the fucking truth. I don't care. I've done how many fucking drugs in my time. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck. It's my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I'm worried about that. You know, going to give this kid something. I don't know. That kind of freaks me out. Like I said, myself, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? That's like, you know, it's just like, I don't know. Me, I'm not worried about myself. I really don't give a shit. I really don't care. It's that, like, I'm worried about the kids. And you know what's the right thing to do? You know what I mean? Like, you know, it sounds. There's a lot of fishy shit going on. There's so many, and it's like that's why I try to talk to like as many of my friends as possible, because I like to hear what everybody thinks about it. You know, it's good to take a little knowledge from here and there, and I'm sure there's a little truth to everything that everybody's saying. You know what I mean? Like, you got to kind of take it all in. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just. But, you know, it's hard. You know, I hear so many things about so many trickle-down effects where, like, there's some crazy video going on around Hillary Clinton that this is all tied to, and crazy shit. You know what I mean? And, like I don't doubt anything, you know, until I actually see it. But, I guess, supposedly there's some dark video of Hillary Clinton doing some crazy shit on Epstein's Island. I don't know. You know, like, who knows? You know what I mean? Like, who knows the crazy shit that's going on? You know, I don't know if it's far-fetched or I try. You know, I don't know. It's just like I said. It's like my head's spinning from just everything, from everything I'm hearing, everything that may be true, everything that's going on. it's just really hard to just take everything in. And
Oh
just,
yeah, man.
And then
Yeah. So that's why I try and break it. I try and break it down to basic elements. I'm like, look, these motherfuckers don't even have a good regular flu vaccine yet, because the flu mutates every year and there's different strains and this and that. And I worked in a hospital for a lot of years where they force you to get a flu injection. The only time I ever think I got the flu is when I got the fucking shot and I felt sick as fuck afterwards. And you know, the thing with it is that they don't have a flu shot that works. How are they going to have a COVID? They're already talking about there being different strains of COVID. So, you know, how are you going to do these vaccines, and how are you going to get it done this fast? You know, and so it's just, you know, you got to look at things with healthy skepticism.
Yep.
And you know, something else that you brought up, and I don't know, I haven't been like following even like the conspiracy stuff that's been going around so much is so fucking wild too, and I haven't been following that because I can't get wrapped up in it right now. I'm too busy. But
me neither.
But it's tempting because you know it's fun. Some of it, you know, it's not fun. Like it's not funny. It's just,
in a way.
Yeah, it's just, you know, some stuff is so crazy. Yeah, but it's interesting. But I will say, like, I don't know. Did you watch the Netflix kind of series on Epstein?
I did.
Did you see? I watched the first one just the other night, bro. I literally, there's not much shit that I like can't stomach or take. I ended up having to shut it off after a little while. There was only so much I could take of listening to those girls like talk about that shit. I was like, this motherfucker, dude. And you know, I didn't know how deep and like long those like investigations into him were. Like there was stuff from like the early 2000s and shit. And I was like, and you know what? And then after that, all these motherfuckers still hung out with him. Shame on anyone that's in a picture with that dude for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, they all were. I mean, Clinton, Trump. That's why it's like, this is how I look at it. I know everybody hates Trump. I mean, all you have to do is look at the guy. You can hate him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just, and that's why I think he's a fucking total puppet. He was put in office. He's told everything to say, or they just say, like, let this fucking nut run the country or whatever. Not that I hate everything he does, but I think he's a piece of shit. I don't think he's a good world leader. But I mean, you know what? It's just like, you know what? They all suck. You know what I mean? Like we've had liberals, we've had Republicans. It's always crazy. You know what I mean? It's just like, I think that like. I think what's actually going on now is I mean, I'm sure everybody's heard of, you know, divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on. They're just trying to divide the people, and it's really fucked up, and it bothers me so much. Like, especially growing up the way I grew up. I grew up with there's so many different cultures of people, you know, just blacks, whites, Puerto Rican. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up in a multicultural, like, you know, I was friends with everybody. You know what I mean? And I just, and like, you know, and I have nothing but love for everyone. I mean, look at all our friends. Our friends are of color. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, so to see what's going on. And I think that, like, this is what bothers me the most, what's going on, is the fact that, I mean, I've always been colorblind. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we grew up. You know what I mean? So, like, we don't even know any other way. But it's like, I feel like what's happening is, and I understand what's going on because people are tired of being treated like shit. And I don't fucking blame them, you know? But it's just like, what's going to happen? I don't feel like anything good is going to come out of this. I feel that, like, this is going to separate people even more, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And it's just, I see it happening already, you know? And it's just like, I see a lot of stop hate, stop racism, but I'm seeing a lot of hate. You know what I mean? Everybody's hating on each other, and it's just, I feel like it's getting worse. Like, it's just, I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. You know, just like, as much as I'm not fucking a cop guy, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, you know, I have tons of cops in my family, so I'm a little, but you know, just see kill all cops is a little, that's a little too much. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you know, there's some shitty cops out there. Don't fucking get me wrong. A lot of cops handle a lot of situations horribly.
Yep.
And, you know, it's, you know, and that needs to stop. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers need to really, learn how to, I don't know, you know, I mean, on the other hand, there's a lot of racism too, but there's racism all around on every, it's all over. You know what I mean? It's just you know, blacks hating whites, whites hating blacks. And like, you know, it sucks. It just sucks. It's fucking, it bothers me. It really bothers me. You know what I mean? just to even be like, fuck, man, 2020 and this shit's still going on.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
come
no,
on,
not only
you know?
is it still going on, it's getting worse, but it's exactly
It's
like you
getting
said.
worse.
Yeah. With that divide and conquer. Dude, never in my life have I seen, you know, and I say that like I'm, you know, and I am. I've been around for a little while now. I've been around almost, you know, 48, right? I've never seen it this crazy with like, you know, like especially along political lines. Like there is lines in the sand. Like there's never,
Oh, man.
like
right?
you are either super left or super right, and there's no like people talking
No
in the
middle
middle,
ground.
and it's
No.
crazy. And
Because that's where I lay. I'm in the middle. I always try to feel it, you know?
yeah,
And it's like, you know, I feel like realistically, look, this is the way I look at it. Realistically, whether you're left wing or you're right wing, you feel the way you feel because you feel in your heart that that's what's best either for the country or for that's your moral value, you know? So, like, you can't tell me there's just like these guys are bad because they believe this and that guy's bad because he believes that. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, you know, everybody's has good ideas. You need to, like, pick out, like, what works best for everybody, you know? It's never going to be all left or all right. And you're never going to make everybody happy. You know what I mean? But you need to, like, have some realistic ideas of, like, how things should be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's fair for anyone to just be on one side right now. It's too much. You know what I mean? Anybody that's too far left or too far right, I don't, you know, even like anybody who's too deep into church or too, you know what I mean? It's always too much. Anything that's too much is not enough. You know, it needs to be a good balance of reality of, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's just, but just like I said, I feel like a lot of this is just going to make things worse, and I think it's just our shitty ass government trying to conquer and divide us, and you know, and it fucking sucks.
I don't know, and it's like, is it the government, or is it something more? Like, is it, you know, like you hear about if you want to start going down tinfoil routes, you know, not really, you know, I'm kidding, but the thing is like, why is it that no president is able to really do that well? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think what happens is like you get to that point and you work up and you go on the campaign, and that's what none of them live up to their campampaigne promises, really, you know?
No way.
And so that's what they campaign on. That's what they get elected for. And I think what happens, I don't know. I'm not saying this is real, but it seems like so crazy that I think what happens is like, all right, they get elected, and I think they get sit down and say, all right, well, this is what you think you're going to do. This is what you're actually going to do. And we're behind this, and we're behind this, whether it's like these central banking cartels and elite families, or if it's the, you know, major corporations saying, you know, no, this is really how it's going to be. We're writing this legislation. You're going to sponsor it. I mean, who knows what the hell is going on? But there is definitely something going on. Like the political spectrum's never been so divided. Nothing's getting done.
Right.
There's no outreach between the two parties. And, you know, the crazy thing is a lot of these politicians put the party before the country. You need to put the country first. You're like in the interest of the country and the American people, not your political fucking party. Like, and that's what gets, and that trickles down to the people, like where, you know, never in your life should someone who's a different political party, that's, you know, in your country, like never should, if you're a Democrat, should a Republican be your enemy or vice versa. Like that person is still an American. They have a different kind of view on things, but you know, you need to put what's good for everybody ahead of that shit, man, and get your head out of those lines. That's what they want. So it's like we're getting cut from every place. It's Democrats versus Republicans. We got, you know, blacks versus whites versus Spanish versus, you know, go down the whole list of color or ethnic backgrounds. You got rich versus poor versus the poor versus the rich versus the middle class, like, you know, everyone's just, you know, it's just fucking bananas, dude. And it's like, just get out of the chaos and just, you know,
you know what? Here's my thing. You know what boggles my mind the most? This is what, and I try to ask a lot of people this. It's just like, okay, here we are. I mean, even, you know, I mean, everybody hates Trump. Even a lot of Republicans hate Trump. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Okay, so here's the deal. We hate this guy, right? why in the world can we not find a small handful of people that could fucking go against this guy and beat him? You know, why can't we need to tell me we couldn't find a mold or like, you know, like get a powerful guy, a smart, powerful man that can to beat this guy? You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody else.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is the only choice we got now.
I know.
You
That's
know what I'm saying? It's just
so
like,
crazy.
you know what I mean? So like, it's like, so you're going to tell me you're going to take all this time on trying to get this guy out. You know what I mean? You hate him. You don't like him. You're going to spend all this time and money and effort on trying to get this guy out. Why don't you fucking try and find someone that's better than him? That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I mean, am I right or wrong? You know what I mean? Like, you can't find somebody else? Like, really? Like, you kidding me? Like, nobody wants to step up. If you hate this guy that much, find somebody better. You know what I mean? Get somebody smarter. Everybody knows goddamn well that, like, it's like, all right, whatever. I may not know that much about Joe Biden, but, like, let's be for real here. You know what I mean? Like, you're just going to vote for him because you want to get rid of Trump. You're not going to vote for him because he's actually going to do better. I mean, let's be for real here.
Yeah.
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? I mean, and that's the truth. Like, why in the world can they not find somebody who's fucking good for the job? You know what I mean?
Well,
like, somebody who's powerful, somebody that's, like, smart, that has good ideas, that's going to actually try to do better for the country. You know what I mean? That's like, you know, I'm not sitting here hating on Trump or anyone. I'm just saying it just makes, you know what I mean? Like, that makes more sense to me.
Yeah, but I think,
you know? And
I think what happens, and I 100% agree, but I think what happens is anytime the Republican Party or the Democratic Party get a good candidate or good candidates, they end up marginalizing that candidate and making them look like a fucking wacko. And I think there's a good old boy network behind these, you know, whether it's behind each party or both parties, of there's like a good old boy, you know, and gal power structure involved in these parties, and they don't want newcomers who are going to make real change coming in. Like, you know, I didn't agree with everything that Andrew Yang or Tulsi Gabbard said, but they had some decent ideas that were different than the rhetoric you hear from the Democratic Party. I didn't really, you know, and so perfect example of this, and I know this is going to piss a bunch of people off, but just hear me out and listen to this from a standpoint of just logical standpoint. Bernie Sanders, a lot of people rally behind Bernie Sanders, and everyone loved Bernie Sanders on the left, or a lot of people did. You know, he's running the last election, and then gets totally fucked over by the Democratic Party and fucked over by Hillary, you know, the last time. And, you know, all the shit he said about Hillary and all the shit talking he did. And then as soon as they fucked him over and made her the candidate, he just, instead of, so what he did is he bowed down and fucking kissed her shoes, you know, and just, and put the party before the country. If he had an ounce of, you know, anything he stood for, he would have said, all right, then fuck you guys, I'm running as an independent. And I guarantee you he would have got a lot of votes. But no, he put the party first. And coincidentally, you know, a couple months later, he just bought another $3 million something mansion in Vermont. And it's like, did he get paid off? I don't know. I'm not making any speculations, but I'm just saying, if that dude really would have put his convictions first, he thought he was the best guy for the country, he would have said, all right, you guys just fucked me. That's fine. See you later. I'm running as an independent. But he didn't do that. And then, you know, the last time, you know, the same thing happened again. So, you know, all these guys, even if they put them up as heroes, like something, they're getting to them somehow. You know what I mean? Or are they just shills? And so, you know, and so I'm not slamming. I'm just saying from just the stand back's perspective, because I'm not Democrat or Republican. I'm a registered independent. You know, that's just weird. And the same thing on, you know, in past elections, Dennis Kucinich actually seemed like a halfway decent candidate. They made him look wacky. And on that same time, Ron Paul was running on the Republican side, and they made him look wacky. And he didn't do himself any favors either. Like when he would run, and they would give him, like, because you know what happens is that we're electing presidents based on sound bites now and headlines and talking points. And he would try and jam 5 minutes worth of topics or concepts into like a 30-second soundbite, and so he just looked crazy because he was just like rattling off so much.
Totally.
But so the thing is, and then we don't have a fair and balanced media anymore. That
Nope.
90%
one side, Fox News is the other, and it's like, where's the truth like? Because CNN is they're just going to show you what the left side wants to see, and then Fox News is going to show you what the right side wants to see. You know what I mean? It's just like, where's the truth lie? You're right. You know what I mean? Like, there needs to be like, there's no in between. This is what and I think it's a big problem. And it's dividing the country, and it's fucking awful. Yeah, it's really, it just goes against everything I've ever stood for, and I just, and it's just like the same thing with like punk rock. You can't even have your own ideas. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're not allowed to have your own opinion anymore. It's crazy. It's really wild. You know what I mean?
And here's a crazy way to think about it. After 9/11, on like 9/12, the country was so unified. No one gave a shit about race, ethnic background, or economic, socioeconomic background, or any of that. Everyone was fucking Americans, and the country,
and watching Living Color, and fucking having a good time,
Yeah, and on the streets,
united.
On the streets, everyone was so like one. Now, not going to get into the shit that happened with the quote unquote Patriot Act and stuff like that. And then all the craziness that ensued from that, which was, Democrat and Republican politicians putting shady shit through that like started the downfall of, I'm not even going to get into it. Go read the Patriot Act or read excerpts from it and see how un-American that piece of legislation is. And just because they put the name Patriot Act on it, if you voted against it, you are automatically unpatriotic. But it's the most unpatriotic piece of legislation to be put through in so long. But that's neither here nor there, But on the streets, America was it was horrible what happened, but the country came together. Now we have this shit going on, and it's almost like they don't want the country to get together. So it's like, all right, we got a big crazy thing going on, but you got to stay home. You got to wear masks. You got to stay in 6 feet from each other. You can't have real social contact with anybody. Is that what's going on? Who knows? It's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I have my own opinions and stuff on it.
Yep.
I just, like I said, I don't have the time to actually, I don't have the time to actually, go into every detail and there's so many people that just like, they're constantly like reading up on stuff and, educating yourself on, and I do, I try to as much as I can, but I just feel like this is what I want to do right now. I want to just do what's best for my family. Try to raise my daughter to be the best person she possibly can be. And that's all I can really do in life right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to pick any sides. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Who knows? It's just, I don't know. I'm so baffled with life and how everything is.
Yeah.
I really, I know I keep saying that, and I just am. I'm still just like, blown away by just like everything that's going on. And I don't have all the answers. So that's why I don't really, I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything. And sometimes it's how I feel. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just want to see everybody get along. I got nothing but love for everybody. And, if anybody's a fan of Agnostic Front, they know that, you read the lyrics for fucking Victim in Pain. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's all about unity. It's all about uniting together as one. And punk rock is just like, being yourself.
Sure.
And like, I think a lot of people today are scared to even be themselves. And that's fucking bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. It's absolute bullshit.
Well,
I just think, but, fucking Victim in Pain is like, if you just listen to that lyrically, it's punks and skins, blacks and whites, uniting. That's it. That's what built our scene, but, I don't know, that's it, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. You know, my whole standpoint is I'm just laying back in the cut, not trying to. I'm just trying to watch what's going on and be ready for anything. You know what I mean? Because who knows what the fuck is next? I mean, we're only halfway through the year, and it's been a fucking heavy hitter. That's for sure.
Oh, I tell you, the one thing that really scares me is the fact that, and I don't know, people say, "Oh, he's not going to win," but you know what? Like, if Trump wins again, you're going to see some insane riots. I think it's going to get even worse. I think this is nothing compared to what we're going to see if he wins again on election day. I think people are going to flip the fuck out and go insane.
Yeah.
You know? And that's kind of a scary thought. It's scary, you know? It sucks.
Yeah.
You know? It's wild.
Yeah,
that's
it's
my
already,
insight. Yeah.
I know, and it's already been wild.
You know, when that happens, you could say, "Hey, Gallo called it." I've been saying this for a while.
Speaking of wildness, you heard about that? I haven't read too much about it. I gotta, and that's full disclosure. I'm gonna read more about it hopefully tonight if I get some time. The shit that's going on in Seattle, where like the people that took over like a 6 square block area of Seattle, and there's like.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about that?
They're trying to say that, and it's the same thing in like Portland too. That they're trying to do that. And they're trying to say that they don't even want to be part of America. Like,
yeah.
That's. You're right. You know, I heard I got caught some wind of it. I haven't looked into it myself either. But that's so I can't. I'm not even going to speak on that because I have no idea.
Just wild shit, man. Where it's like it's not even just rioting anymore. It's like taking over parts of cities and stuff, and like that's next level.
And like another thing that scares me too is the fact that like what's gonna happen? Like who the fuck's gonna even want to be a cop anymore? You know what I mean? And then like you figure like no matter what, like what's gonna happen? Like we can't. And not that I'm like so goddamn pro police, but like. I'm definitely not for anarchy. That's for fucking sure. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like what are we gonna do? Like not have police? Not like you know what I mean? Like what's the outcome? Like what's the motive? Like you know what I mean? Like what are we supposed to do? And like, what do you know what I mean? Like you know what I'm trying to say? Like what's gonna happen? Like what does everybody want? You want to get rid of the police department, and then what happens there?
Yeah, and it's stupid because you know I've never called a cop in my life. You know, I called I've called 911 once. That was like a couple weeks ago. There was an old gentleman on his motorcycle, and he crashed right in front of my shop. So I dialed 911 to call an ambulance to come help out. But you know, here's the thing with that. Like you know, anarchy is a beautiful thought. If you had a world full of responsible people, because you need 100% personal responsibility and accountability for anarchy to work. And we don't have it. There's a lot of fucking shit people out there that would take advantage of the situation. We all know this, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, you know, whatever there. You know, does there need to be very legitimate and sweeping police reform? Abso-fucking-lutely, right? Like, are you going to defund the police? Like, you know, I'm not a cop caller, you know, and because I can defend myself. But you know, some 70-year-old lady might need to call the cops. They need to serve a purpose. You know, and if you ask me,
they don't all do bad things.
No.
There's a lot of them that do shitty things, and they're all. There's no doubt about it.
Well, it's like power corrupts, you know, and if you give people unchecked power, they're going to use it. And so there needs to be more checks and balances in that world. I think, you know, like in some areas, like our area, and, you know, people get tired of me probably talking about this, but you literally need to put more hours in to get your barber certificate than to be a cop in Massachusetts. Like there's more hours to become a barber, or Texas, I know too. So, you know, I think there needs to be better training. There needs to be heavy psychological evaluations before and routinely, you know, because you got people that have power and guns walking the streets. You need to know that they're not fucking a powder keg ready to fucking go off. And I'm not saying that with any disrespect or hatred. It's just common fucking fact. And two, like all these dudes that get in trouble, all these cops for like fucking people up or killing people, when you look at them, they all have these fucking crazy records. This motherfucker, the last one, had like 18 counts of police brutality. Why is that dude still on the force? Why is he still a fucking cop?
Exactly.
Really. Give him 3 strike rules, because, sometimes, people do lie and make shit up. And so there might be some false accounts on there. I'm sure there wasn't on his, but you know what? If you got a motherfucker that's a repeat offender with that shit, get him the fuck out. And my boy Denver Dan had like the best suggestion, kind of compounding off that. Like, when they do these like settlements for police brutality, it should come out of the fucking their fucking pension funds, not out of the state, taxpayer dollar,
Totally.
And then what that would do? That would make the good guy cops, or the good cops, more responsible for policing themselves internally and weeding the bad motherfuckers out, right? Because dude, you know how it goes in that world, and it goes in other worlds as well. Like, it's like, you're your brother's keeper. You're not gonna rat anyone out within your organization. But you know what? But guess what, motherfucker? If it's coming out of your pension because this dude's doing dirt, you're gonna be more apt to say, "Hey, motherfucker, stop it," or I'll fucking handle you, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
And just there needs to just be some common sense reform. Like, and I think another thing that needs to be done. This isn't really related to brutality, but this definitely caters to their image, is like, get them out of the habit of being revenuers for the state or the town or the city. Like, why no one likes cops? Because they pull you over for bullshit things. You're going 7 miles over the speed limit and they pull you over and give you a ticket. That fucks up your day. And guess what? You're like, fuck cops after that. You know what I mean? Fuck that.
Yep.
You know what? And that shouldn't even be part of their job. And guess what? That would make them probably be more happy to go to work too, where they don't got to deal with like dumb shit like that. Maybe we don't need as many cops at that point. Maybe we have that many cops so that we can just create money and generate money for the state and to in order to pay fucking state workers or whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of going off on a tangent there.
No,
it's just something I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that could be done that could really help with these situations. But are they going to put it through? You know, police unions would fight any of that shit tooth and nail. Why do we need police unions? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, are police getting overworked and forced to work mandatory hours in an unsafe fucking factory? Now, I'm just kidding. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that's what a lot of unions were there for, to make sure workers weren't taken advantage of. I don't think the state's really taking advantage of anybody. And I don't know, like, and I'm not saying I'm pro cop or anti cop. I'm like, I'm pro common sense, and there's a lot of shit that's going on.
I try to look at things too.
Yeah, and it's like,
it's just try to look at things logically. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like I know something. I fucking hate cops.
Yeah.
All right, I hear you. A lot of them are dicks, and a lot of times, sometimes they think they're above the law, and I just think they get a little too cocky, and you know what I mean. But like, it's like, and it's just like I said, like, it's like defunding the whole police department and all that. It's just like, that's not going to help anything. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are mad, you guys are pissed, and I get that, and you know what I mean. And people, deserve to be treated better with more respect, and but it's just like, also another thing is like, like, being a cop is not an easy job. You know what I mean? I hate to be a cop.
That's part of this. That's part of the reason why I said there should be more psychological evaluations. It is not because it is such a stressful job, because you're dealing with dudes or girls that are just lying to you all day or being shitty. You know what I mean? And trying to get over, and and that's on a good day. Never mind a bad day where you walk into some like fucking murder scene or like fucking horrible domestic violence scene or something, or like
gonna fuck you up in the head somehow.
Yeah. I mean, soldiers get PTSD. I'm sure cops get PTSD, and so that shit needs to be addressed. Because you got a time bomb on the street. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for them. Not good for their family. Not good for the public. It's just common sense. But
absolutely.
I'm sure someone will take some of those quotes out of context to make me look like a fucking whatever. One way or the other.
Too. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, look, man. People love to just twist shit around and fucking. They just love to do that to stir up shit because they think better to do on the internet. But people can think what they fucking want. I'm just thinking realistically. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Yeah, you're not going to defund the cops. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
No, I don't think that's the right thing to do. I don't think that's gonna. And then there's another thing. And then like you figure that, and then what are we going to do? Like defund the cops. You're going to get shittier people in the mix, and shitty people are going to do? They're gonna do a shittier job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sure, lower their pay. You know what I mean? And then then no one's gonna want to be a cop. And who the fuck are you gonna get to be a cop? You're gonna get fucking crazier people that are gonna do crazier things.
Yeah, I say.
So it's like,
make less of them, give them more money, so that they're more apt to do a better job and be stoked about working, and more not wanting to lose their job, but make them more severe consequences for when they do fucked up shit.
Yeah, and it's just like, who the fuck is gonna want to be a cop now?
Yeah. Who wants to be one in the first place,
I hear you. I fucking hear you. I know. Half my family cops. I'm just like, you guys are fucking crazy. I don't know. It's just, but
I always say that, but then I think of one guy in particular, and I won't say his name, but he worked with me for years. When we bounced on the doors together, and when we worked in Providence, and he was like, he's like, I want to be, I want to go in the force just because I want to do it as a career. But he goes, I want to actually be, like the dude that's actually like a cool cop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to bust people over bullshit, give them a hard time. But, I want to try and be an asset to the community. I couldn't believe he was saying it because he was also a fucking savage. But he was always like very even mannered. It took a lot to piss him off, but once you pissed him off, it went from 0 to 100. I saw him push some dude in a snowbank so hard that the dude's pants fell off in the middle of winter. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so there are guys I know that or gals that get into it for the right reason. So, but that's so far out of my wheelhouse of ever wanting to be in law enforcement that I can't fully understand it. But I grew up like a punk rock Question Authority dude, like listening to the Black Flag and and literally, like me and Ryan and other friends, we in our punk rock days, younger days, a lot of shit did happen to us. Cops would, they would rile you up for nothing and then be like, all right, well, you want to go to the station or you want to take your lumps? And then if you say, yeah, I'll take my lumps, you got a phone book put on you, got whacked with a fucking baton a couple times. The phone book acted as an intermediary, so it didn't leave the shape of a baton on you. And they would drop you off somewhere and be like, all right, now walk back. You know what I mean? And you did it. And it was better than going to jail, but, that's the type of shit that happened, and it's like,
And it just goes to show you that, everybody got fucked. Everybody I don't care what color you are. Black, white. I mean, I've gotten fucked up by cops. All have. Everybody does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's just,
there just
crazy.
needs to be sweeping reforms that, but common sense reforms, and not, whatever. Let's.
I know. I hear you.
We haven't, for listeners that, I'm sure everyone that listens to this is probably familiar with you, but, I get some of the motorcycle guys might not be as familiar with some of the punk rock or hardcore stuff. You've been a staple in the New York hardcore scene for decades. Let's learn a little bit more about Mr. Mike Gallo. Tell me, what, before we even get into talking about bands, one thing I do like to ask about is what even got you into punk rock and hardcore? How did you start on this pathway?
Well, I could give you a whole rundown. Like when I was a young kid, I've always been into music. My whole family was from music. My dad was a musician. Of course, my brother. My mother used to play piano. And she was a stay-at-home mom. So she was always in the house playing music. Always playing music. Music has always been a very big part of my life. And one thing I remember, at one point in my life, I wanted to play guitar. Most kids who are into music that much want to play. You know what I mean? So my dad was a musician, and I was just like, Dad, I'm like, I want to play guitar. I really want to play guitar. And he's like, all right, he's like, what would you think? He's like, why don't you try playing bass? He's like, guitar players are a dime a dozen. And he's just like, every band needs a good bass player. And he's just like, my dad used to play in wedding bands and stuff. And he had rock bands. He's been playing music since he's a child too. He started on the accordion as a teenager. And so, he knew his shit when it comes to the music scene, So he's like, why don't you try the bass? Started playing bass as a kid, and my cousin got me big into my first band I ever listened to was Kiss. I'll never forget. He gave me the vinyl Rock and Roll Over, And that was like, to me, it was just like the fucking coolest thing. At like, I don't even think I was a teenager. I was probably like 11 years old, 10, 11 years old. So young. I might even think younger. I don't even know. I can't remember. But so that was kind of like my first introduction into rock. Like my mom would be blasting R&B and Michael Jackson and Led Zeppelin and just she loved everything. My dad as well. Classic rock, the Who, all that stuff. That was what got me into music. And then the funny thing is, as I got older, I remember going into like junior high school, and I was all about Metallica at that time. It was just like Ride the Lightning patch on the back, and, the Jump in the Fire Devils. I was metalhead, mullet, huge metalhead, loved it. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was all about. When I went into junior high, like nobody would listen to the music with me. It was really weird. It was a huge Guido town where I grew up. And it was just it was all TKA and hip hop, and that's what everybody listened to. So it's just like I was struggling to try to find people to listen to music with me. And after a while, I just gave up. You know what I mean? Like nobody was into it. You know what I mean? So for a little while, I actually I'll admit it because I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? That's what I was. I was a stupid kid. I definitely kind of like I was a Guido. I'm still a Guido. What am I saying? But I totally I just followed my friends at the time, and that's the reason why I just love hardcore so much, because it's just like I was a follower as a kid. I really was. You know what I mean? But hardcore really taught me to be myself. You know what I mean? Not give a shit what everybody else thinks about you. But before I get into that, so like as junior high, and then I got into like and I got more to high school, and my high school was like a vocational school, and I was doing art, so I had people from the surrounding schools around me come into our art class. So I was meeting different people, and then they started introducing me to new music, which was awesome. I heard stuff like Fishbone and just like definitely a lot of more underground stuff, not as much hardcore yet, you know what I mean? It was more like started getting into like more like alternative type stuff, which was cool. And then a buddy of mine moved from Staten Island, God rest his soul, my buddy James Lally. He I forgot how he was working at some place where a buddy of mine worked, and he started coming around, and he was like, "Hey," I introduced me. He's like, "Oh, you're into music? So you're into hardcore?" And I was like, "Nah." I was like, not really. I mentioned some band I was listening to at the time, and he was like, "Oh, take this." The first thing he gave me was the Murphy's Law record. It was the first one or the second one. I can't really remember. Or whatever. And I was like, it's cool. I thought it was fun. I was like, it's all right. He's like, look, you got to come to a show with me. You know what I mean? He's like, you really got to come. And he would play. He played me so many bands, like Today, of course, Agnostic Front, and Sick of It All, and the classic New York hardcore bands that he was into at the moment. And I thought it was cool, but to be honest with you, I wasn't vibing on it until I went to a live show. I went to see Murphy's Law, and then that was it. I mean, it just fucking changed my life forever. It was just like, to me, that moment is that night is a night I'll never fucking forget. Just my jaw was dropping. I was like, how in the fucking world did I not get into this earlier? I'm like, how did I miss this? Well, because I didn't have anybody who was listening to it. I wasn't hanging out with anybody who was into this stuff, but I just never felt like, you're just like, wow, this is. I'm like, I got to pick up the bass again. I was like, this is fucking. I'm like, holy shit, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. It was incredible. I was so fucking blown away by it.
Sure.
I'll never forget Murphy's Law on stage, and it was just Jimmy. At the time, who was in the band? It was Jimmy, Todd Youth. I forget who else. It might have been Phil Cavano on bass. I forget exactly who it was.
What time frame was this?
This is early to mid 90s. Might have been like 94, I think it was. It was like 94. I think it was like 94. And I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. I was like, This is incredible. It fucking changed me. And I said to myself, that's what I want to fucking do. I'll never forget the moment. I'll never forget it. Just being like, I want to fucking do that so fucking bad. And I had my old bass that like I stopped playing when I was a kid because I just taking lessons from some dude that just didn't want to teach me any metal.
Sure.
He didn't want to show me any riffs. I was bored, whatever. I started picking up. I just started playing it to myself, trying to play. Funny enough, learning the bass on my own. I learned on my own. I just started playing to records that I loved, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I couldn't play at all. It was horrible, but somehow I was writing music. My brother's like, "How the fuck are you writing this music? You could barely play the bass." You know? And I think what I would do was I would try to play a song that I liked, and it would just come out so different because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But it was kind of along the lines, but it was a little different. You know what I mean? But it was just like my own thing. It was just my own take on it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it just kind of started from there. And I just kept at it. And I didn't even know how to play bass when I joined the AF. They were going to fucking throw me out of the band. They're like, "Kid, we like you, but you're not cutting it." You know what I mean? Like, you know, Roger sat me down, played the song, helped me out a lot more. And, you know, a couple of days, every day got better, you know, and they were like, "All right." And then I guess they took a liking to me, and 20 years later, here I am.
Sure.
I mean, next year will be 20 years in Agnostic Front. It's fucking wild.
Yeah.
But I still don't know how to play the bass. People watch me play, and they're like, "How do you even do that?" I just learned to do it on my own, the way I do it. You know, I don't play any scales. I don't know any scales. I don't practice any scales, and never have. You know? It's like,
yeah, but I think
here I am traveling the world.
I think that's, you know, that's like a real punk rock hardcore like background story as far as from a musician standpoint. Like, I think a lot of people fall into that same thing. Like, no one had classical training. No, I'm not saying no one. Most didn't have classical training. Most just picked up the shit on their own and tried playing along with records. That is the same with me. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I took a couple bass lessons years ago. And the person was just trying to teach me shit that I had no interest in, and I didn't last long. And then I just picked it up by playing along with records, and then same thing, writing my own shit. And then, and that's how you make your own style, like, because you're not beholden to any kind of patterns or teachings that came before you, because you were just kind of learning and doing it on your own. And I think that's what happens with a lot of bands like that are self-taught. They have this completely different sound because they, you know, learned on their own.
It's from inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing about music. You know what I mean? You could feel it. Just like, that's why I kind of feel like there's a lot of bands out there that can be a little generic, because they're kind of just like, oh, I want to sound like Madball. And then their stuff just sounds just like Madball. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have other influences. You have to have your own take on it. You have to have your own thing. You know, music comes from inside. People feel that shit. You know what I mean? They can just tell if you're up there just fucking, all right. You can tell when a band is like they're up there, or
just doing the motions.
Yeah, you know, it's like, it's just, you know, it comes from inside. You know, exactly. Originality, you can't just like listen to one style of thing or one.
Sure.
It just takes a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, I've always been into everything, you know, I'm very open-minded when it comes to music. I don't just listen to one thing. I could never, you know? And I think that makes a difference. It really does, you know?
Absolutely. And I know obviously we know a lot of musicians and from different genres. And one thing that I find that a lot of really good musicians don't listen to just the type of music they play or the genre that they play. And they listen to a lot of different things, and you can get influences from all kinds of things. And if people walked into Chop It, they'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Because, you know, my Tech Junior is the same way. So we're listening to the weirdest mix of shit all day. It'll be like fucking Booker T and the MGs right into like Negative Approach, you know? And it's like, that doesn't make sense to a lot of people. It makes sense to me, right? It makes sense to you, you know, like, you know, just weird shit like that. But, you know,
Booker T is so good.
But the thing too is, like, you know, like you said, I think it's important, like when music comes from inside, it shows through. It doesn't matter how technical and crazy it is, like these bands like fucking, I don't know, whatever, like Dragon Force or fucking, Trans-Siberian Orchestra or some crazy shit. Like, yeah, you got to give it to them on the technicality. But some of the hardest hitting songs are fucking simple. Like, especially like Oi shit, like that Blitz record, one of my all-time favorite records. Like, you could pick up a guitar and in a month and have never played, you could play all those songs. You know what I mean? It's not technically, but you ain't gonna write those songs unless you got some fucking heart, and got something to say to stand behind it, and that's like it with a lot of music, and so
yeah, without a doubt, it's really true. I mean, like I feel like it's just like even like it's even like my brother, me and him kind of we argue about music a little bit here and there. I consider him more of like, he's definitely a better musician, way better musician. Fuck, forget it. He's a really talented guy, but he's kind of almost like a little bit of a music snob, if you know what I mean. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he likes and I mean, I like Tool. He likes, you know what I mean? Like he his music. He just thinks like he loves punk rock and hardcore too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like sometimes he'll just be like into stuff. He's like, oh, you don't understand the musicianship of this, and I'm like, I get that, dude. But you know what? It ain't fucking moving me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to be honest with you, and I always loved Tool. I thought they were a fucking great band. I went to go see them. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking fall asleep at a concert.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to fucking be moved. I want to fucking sing along. I want to jump around. I want to go fucking bananas. You know what I mean? I don't anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, like here I am. I'm like in my early 20s. I'm falling asleep at a show.
Yeah.
Really? Like, I don't give a fuck how good you are. You put me to sleep at it. I've never listened to them ever since.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck. That band sucks. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck how good they really are. You put me to sleep. You failed.
You can be
that sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. You can be the best
and they're
technical
great. Don't
musician.
Get me wrong.
Yeah. If it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit, right? And some of it's subject to someone else could have went to that show and thought it was the best show they ever saw in their life. They're just into different things, right? But
totally.
But no, I get
maybe
it.
I was just too stoned. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that was part of the problem. But I mean, totally that fucking that. Nah, I mean, I've smoked a lot of weed at Murphy's Law shows, and I've had the time of my life. That shit's gotta move you. You know what I mean? Like, and another funny thing is like, there's even like a band like Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is one of the most fun bands you could ever go fucking see.
Yeah.
Be totally honest with you, I can't really listen to them that much on records. I mean, I guess maybe because I've heard them so many times. I've heard those records just like 7 trillion times, or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, like Murphy's Law is a live band. You can't capture that on the record. You know what I mean? Like Jimmy to me is one of the greatest frontmen ever. He's just, you could give him a mic and a bottle of Jägermeister and forget it.
Yeah.
You'll have the greatest time of your life.
Yeah, it's some dude standing behind him with a harmonica, not even a band, and you'll still have almost as much fun probably as you would at a Murphy's Law show.
Totally. So like that, like the whole, especially with, that's the only thing I'm worried about as far as like what's going to go on with music, and especially our music, like what's going to happen? You know what I mean? Like, are they going to let less people into shows? Are people going to be scared to stage dive on top of each other?
Oh, yeah.
Into the mic, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like maybe to get away to like seeing a rock show, but like I don't know, how's a hardcore show going to be? Are people going to bug out?
Yeah.
Are people going to miss the fucking shit out of it and go nuts? And
yeah. And then are people even going to go? Are people going to be too sketched out to even go? Yeah, who knows, man? It's crazy. I have a feeling, and it's just a gut feeling, and I may be wrong, I may be right, but I feel like it's going to be like a powder keg, and once shit's unleashed, people are going to have so much pent-up shit that it's going to go fucking bananas. That's what I'm hoping.
That's what I think. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that too, and it kind of makes sense, because I think people are missing that fucking, and even like as of lately, I've finally kind of seen a few friends here and there, I want to go see everybody else, but it's nice to just actually see people, and just like, and I think people are going to be excited for it, or they're going to be scared to death. I don't know. Hopefully we're right. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'd like to keep playing music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I love my life. I play music. I do art, and I've worked my fucking ass off to get where I am in life now. And I'm hoping I'm not going to have to fucking, I don't know, go on a 9 to 5 after this. So that scares the shit out of me.
Sure. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a lot to swallow.
You know what's crazy, and I never even thought about this until earlier when you brought up booking agents and stuff. Like, musicians and bands can still sell merch and do stuff. Like, what the fuck are booking agents doing to make money now? Damn, dude, I know.
Yeah.
Like, roadies and stuff too. Like, like Jesus, what a devastation! What a totally devastated industry. Like, everyone has remorse and stuff for the bartenders and the and that type of stuff. But damn, dude, booking agents and fucking road crew and stuff, man, they must be, because half of them, like, can you even collect unemployment? Like, like
I know
that's how would you even gauge that to do that? That's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah. And even another thing is, like, I'm sure that a lot of bands aren't going to be able to make it through this either. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
A lot of bands will show break up and not be able to.
Yeah. A lot of them, a lot of the dudes, a lot of the band members are probably going to have to get jobs, like you were saying earlier, and it's just not going to have time to do the band afterwards, and because they're going to realize, oh shit, this is what like getting a regular normal weekly check is like. It'd be like, hey, it's not that bad.
Yeah. I know the way my wife's like, I don't know how you do it. I mean, obviously she's a teacher, she gets paid weekly, and she does okay. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, I don't know how you do it living the way you live, like, in the band, you make this amount of money, you got to hold on to it. It's tough, and it's tough because a lot of times, and I noticed, like, the cycle that I've kind of gone through, and I do okay. I'm not horrible with money, like, I'm okay, but, like, it's just like you come off with Europe, and it's just like, you're kind of broke all the way up to when you go on tour, and then you get by, you just kind of get by, and then you go on tour, you come home with a nice little lump sum, and it's like, well, I need this. I couldn't buy this when I was broke. I got to buy this. I got to buy that. And it's so hard to, like,
yeah.
And there's times, and, like, and things have been good with my art. It's been helping me out too. There's a lot of times where, even like last year, like, I was hustling and I was doing good, but there's days where I'm like, okay, rent and everything, all my bills to do next week, and I got to pray that I sell stuff this week, otherwise I'm not going to be able to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I've always seemed to pull it off. I don't know how. I just do. Survival, I always get by. I don't know how I do it, but I do. But it's crazy, It's just like, it's sometimes stressful.
Sure.
And it's just like, it's nice to have it. I don't think getting unemployment now. I've never had a steady paycheck like this.
Yeah.
And like, since I was a kid doing construction, you know what I mean? Like,
sure, yeah.
Never had a steady paycheck. It's always been like, you go on tour, you come home with some money, try to pay the bills with it, try to save it so next time you go on tour. you know?
And then hope you come back with another little grip of money to do the same thing with. Yeah.
Yep.
What and I definitely want to get over it, and you brought up your art, but with Agnostic Front, you kind of talked a little bit about that. How did you end up becoming a member? How did you get in with Agnostic Front? I know it's been a couple decades now, but
yeah. Well, what happened was, I had my other band On the Rise, and we were just, we were 100% into it. It was our lives. It was everything for us. We were going pretty hard with it, and we wound up recording a demo. Sounded horrible. And a friend of mine was like, "Hey, why don't you take it to get remastered? It might help it out a little bit." So my buddy Renee was just like, "Hey man, why don't you guys go over to Big Blue Meanie? It's a place in Jersey. They do great work. His band might have recorded in there or whatever, and it happened to be the place where AF recorded their records. There's Something's Got to Give and Writing It Upstart, and we went there and we met the guy who owned the studio. We got along great. He's like, you guys are great. We had a great time. We had so much fun. He's like, come down to the studio. We're having a party. I think it was like, I don't know if it was Christmas time or I don't know what it was. It was a party they were having for the studio. And he's like, the guys from AF will be here. I'm like, oh, cool, So we were psyched. So when we were excited, we went there. We met the guys from AF, and we just happened to become friends with them. We wound up driving Jimmy Coletti, the drummer, home. And we just stayed in touch, in shows. We hung out. And I think like not even a year later, Kabula came up to me at a show. I think pretty sure we were at Lamour's. And he's like, hey, do you want to take my spot? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, yeah, let me see what I got going on for the rest of my life. Hold on. He's like, you seem to really have your heart into it. I can tell you love it. You get along good with the guys. And he goes, I think it'd be a good fit for you, So pretty much that was it. I had a tryout with one other dude, and who was way better than me. And I just remember, like, I played some songs, he played some songs. We were just hanging out, and Coletti's like, "Come on, let's go get some beers." And I'm like, "All right, here comes the letdown." I'm like, "All right, oh well, here we go." So we walk out the door, and he's like, "You're in, kid." And I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Hey, that guy's better than me, right?" He's like, "Gallo, you're fucking horrible." He's like, "Well, we love you." I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I just like I was saying earlier, like you and Roger was just like, and when I first went on tour, like, I really wasn't playing the songs right or good or anyway, I went from being in a band that played like once a month to being in an Agnostic
touring,
Front.
yeah.
So it's just that's basically how it happened. They basically picked me because they felt they would get along with me best on the road, and that's it.
Well,
here we are.
And I forgot who I talked about this with too. Like, I know I've talked about this just with friends, but I think I talked about it on the podcast. But that's part of the thing with like a touring band. You got to have people in the band that you get along with. Because no one's big like Metallica where they can each have their own bus or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're in a van or like a Sprinter van or a bus, but you're with these dudes all the time. So I see that making sense. If they saw something in you, you can always become a better bass player, but you can't take the shittiest dude that can rip. Like, that's not the dude you want with you on tour. If he's a shitty dude, like you want someone that you can get along with, because you're going to be going through some trials and tribulations while you're out there on the road, and you want someone that you can depend on and that'll be good to have around,
Yeah. Somebody who's going to be there all the time. It's you need somebody who's responsible.
Yeah.
It
takes it serious.
For a fuck up, I'm pretty responsible.
Well, because your heart's in it, man.
For
right?
the most part.
Yeah. Your heart's in it.
I mean, that was like the biggest thing ever for me, and like I still to this day can't actually believe that. Like, still, I'm maybe Agnostic Front. Even my friends that because I got into, like I said, I got into it in like the 90s. I got into it kind of late.
Yeah.
I think I went there. So it was definitely like 90. I think it was 90. I think it was like 94. I don't know. I don't remember. Somewhere around there. But I got into it kind of late. I'm not gonna front. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people try to be old school, and I don't fucking care. It is who it is. It's all where you're coming from, where your heart's at. It's it takes a lot to be in a band. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not just being. It's not just being a good musician. It's people skills, responsibility. There's a lot. There's a lot of dudes. Like, I do a lot of driving.
Yeah.
You got to take on your own responsibility. In a band to keep the ball rolling, because not everybody can do everything. And
sure.
So it's I do a lot of night driving. And even sometimes Craig's like, "Oh, it's fucked up. You got to do a lot of night driving." And he's right. But you know what? To be honest with you, I rather do the night driving sometimes when I have to than have to pay another guy. There's already 5 guys in the band you got to pay. You got to pay a merch guy. We're going to hire another driver.
Yeah.
To do that too. I mean, sure, it'd be easier on us, and I'd love that. But It's like, you know what? I'd rather work a little bit harder and take some more money home.
Sure, yeah,
You know what? So what? That night I don't have to drink that night.
Yep.
That's why I always just like, what nights a week am I gonna have to drive? I pick those, and those nights. Well, I party on those nights. Not all of them, but
yeah.
you just got to kind of pick and choose, and it's just a lot. Being in a band is a lot. You're basically surrounded by. It's like having 4 other girlfriends that you get absolutely no action from. You know what I mean? That's the way I always looked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, or just being on the road with your family like the whole time or something. There's gonna be good times, there'll be bad times, there'll be whatever, and you just gotta roll with it, keep it going.
It's just like even now, like so many families are not used to like being trapped, with the whole quarantine thing. They're trapped in their house and they're in their house 24/7. I can only imagine how many people are getting divorced and like I thank God that like my wife is like really just super chill, and we give each other our own space. She does her thing, I do my thing, and then when we're together, we make time for that, but it's a lot, I feel bad for a lot of people because this is not normal.
Yeah,
this is gonna fuck up so many relationships because of the fact you're just stuck together, and it's like it sucks, you know what I mean? It almost doesn't give people even a chance, it's like. It's not normal to be with somebody that much all the time, Even my daughter, I want to fucking choke sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I love her more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
But it's just like, oh my God, it's a lot. It's a fucking lot.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot. It really is.
Sure. Yeah. And I can imagine, like, I don't have kids, so like, I get it. I can't fully get it, but all my friends with kids say the exact same thing. Like, it's just crazy. But I think all you guys are probably, for the rest of your lives, remember, like, be like, yeah, remember that time I had 3 months with my kid every day? Like, like you're gonna look back and probably cherish it,
oh yeah.
But and everything's got its ups and downs, but
oh yeah, that's one thing I do. Like I said, I do enjoy the fact. Like I said, I'm so burnt out being on the road last year. Like I'm enjoying the time home. After like the first few weeks of just kind of being like, what the fuck, and being all fucked up. And realizing that, everything is cool and everything is good. Like, it's just like, I'm all right here right now. It's cool. I'm enjoying, I'm actually in the moment. Like at the time, my wife's son had moved back into the house and I had lost my whole art studio. So I lost that on top of, not being able to go on the road, on top of just everything else going on, So it was kind of like a double whammy on me, and I was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
But now at this time, I'm putting an extension on my shed, and building my own art studio. I'm making the whole studio out of it, and it's taking a lot longer than I wanted to, but it's going to be pretty insane, actually. I'm pretty psyched on it. I haven't even been doing much art myself as it is because I put so much work into putting this thing together, and I'm not even doing most of the work. A buddy of mine's helping me out with it. But yeah, it's trying to, just build this studio so I have a place to do my thing and continue to do my art, which I miss doing so much. I've done a little stuff here and there just to kind of keep it going. Yeah. But, I'm pretty excited on it. I mean, it turned into building a house. Yeah. Because what we do is I took my shed, and the town said I was only allowed to have 120 square feet. So I was only allowed to extend it another 5 feet by 8 feet legally.
Yeah.
For the town. So I was like, all right, my buddy's like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. And I'm like, I can't go that crazy, but we wound up going nuts and just building it the right size as it could be. And it's going to be really insane. This fucking thing is going to be so cool. I can't wait to finish it. We're almost done. I mean, it's like building a house. I mean, you'll see. I'll be posting it online.
Yeah.
But really fucking cool. It's going to be like almost like a fucking Art Deco type barn studio.
Nice.
So pretty fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
We're doing windows that fold down, so half of it will be open, and we're doing like a sliding plexiglass barn door. It's going to be really awesome.
Fuck yeah, man.
A lot of work, though. A lot of work.
So,
a lot of work, but it'll be worth it.
yeah.
In the end, I just sheetrock the whole thing, the whole shit is sheetrock.
Nice.
It's nuts. Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. I'm so excited about it.
And this is the time to do it, right? Because you got nothing but time to do that type of shit. So you can go out there and chip away at it as you need to. But I think what's going to happen, man, and, you know, this will probably be true with your art too. Like this time is like a time where you're able to recharge your batteries, but there's so much energy building up. Like I think when shows start, like we talked about earlier, when shows start to happen again, I think it's just going to be a fucking explosion because the bands are going to be so amped to play and the crowd's going to be so amped just to go to a show. Like, cause you know, we've been around this a long time. How many times have we gone to shows? Like, the excitement I had when I was fucking a teenager about going to a show, like I couldn't even sleep the night before for some bands coming around. I'd be like, oh, fuck, dude, I can't believe I'm going to go see these guys fucking tomorrow. AF being one of them. Like one of my favorite shows was, I think, 87. It was Agnostic Front, Youth of Today, and I think it was Crippled Youth, like something. It was, I think so. That I've seen that lineup, but I think it was that show. Couldn't even sleep the night before. I can't believe we're gonna see this fucking tomorrow. Blah, blah, blah. But you know, now it's like I still get stoked for shows, but it's not that much. Not the same enthusiasm when I was 18, but or 16 or something. Yeah, 87. I was 15, but I think now I'm going to have that much enthusiasm for the next show I go to. Like, God forbid it, you guys are like Cro-Mags and John Joseph Cro-Mags and Mackie Cro-Mags. They come out playing Life of My Own, dude. I'm going fucking bananas. I'm coming out of every retirement there is, dude. Fucking, I'll be fucking stage diving, fucking smashing, whatever, dude. Hurting myself and paying for it later, but whatever. But the thing is, like, so I think that's, you know, I think we're going to see like a crazy resurgence. Like we're, and I think that's gonna. It's not just me thinking like that. There's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna have like their batteries recharged and just be ready to fucking roll and get things going again. But like, let's talk about your art, man. Like, I know, like early on, I saw you. You know, you kind of had made your own style just by like painting records and like doing cool shit to records and framing them and whatnot. And and I know that was like stuff you were doing, you know, for all our friends and brothers and stuff. Like, you know, is that what you started with, or was there something else you started with? Like, kind of what got you on that road of like starting the whole Gallo Originals like art thing?
Well, I mean, I've always done art as a kid. I've always loved art and music and graffiti. You know, I was doing graffiti from a young kid. And one thing like with graffiti was I was like, every time I went bombing, I had a different tag. It was like, you know what I mean? It was like one of those things. And then like the one tag that I had that I was keeping was kind of just like a generic tag that a lot of guys had. I don't know, you know what I mean? But I just had a fucking love for it. I loved it. I loved going out. I loved it. It was like, I've always loved art, but then when I got into graffiti, there was something exciting about it. It was a fucking high. Going out and doing it was just, I don't know, you know, going out. What we would do,
it's outlaw
we
shit.
would go on the parkways. Yeah, you know, we would go on the parkways, and that was around the you know, that's when I got into the graffiti was like late 80s, you know. I had probably say, you know, 87, 88, like around that time, you know. And then getting a little older and like going bombing with my friends, that was wild. Like we would go into like, I remember there was a place called Pergamon. We would go in there with steel paint. We would go in there with trench coat jackets and still like, you know, full as many cans as we can. We'd walk right out the store like it was nothing.
Yeah.
There was no cameras. There was no alarm systems back then. There was nothing going on, you know. It was just a fucking free for all. That's why everything's locked up. You know, you can't buy paint like that anymore.
Yeah.
You can't steal it. You know, just get it. And it was just a really exciting way to express yourself as an artist. You know, and I fucking fell in love with it. I remember my neighbor just showing me. I forget exactly what documentary it was, but I just remember seeing Scene, the graffiti artist Scene, is a pretty popular guy if you're into that. And he had tagged up. I mean, not just tagged out. He had this humongous blockbuster on the Hollywood sign, and I was like, "That is fucking insane."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Holy shit, that's fucking sick!" Like, I just thought it was so cool. I just thought it was so fun. So like, I was always into art, drawing cartoons and doing graffiti. I was doing airbrushing, and I just loved it. You know what I mean? And then like as a kid, I actually wanted to become an advertising artist before I wanted to become a musician. And I remember getting out of high school. I went to like National Community College, and it was just very. It was very competitive. I just wasn't really into it. And at the time, I was getting into hardcore. And then I just, I fucking dropped out of college and started playing music.
Yeah.
And that was it, And then I was always into graffiti. Like, I'd always tag up here and there and do little bullshit pieces. I've always kept up a little bit with the art, but I kind of lost a lot of love for the art. School kind of just, I don't know. It sucked a lot of life out of the whole art game to me, and I just kind of lost a little interest. So I just, then I did the AF thing, and I got into did music, got in AF, and then, I would always tag up on tour here and there, nothing, whatever. But actually, it wasn't actually till I had the baby and got married and moved to Jersey. Like my whole life changed. I went from living in New York City to coming to suburbia and raising a family, and I just kind of needed something else, besides music to just keep me busy, and I kind of just started getting back into doing art and just I was fucking around, made a couple of records, gave them to my friends, and then people were like, hey man, you sell them? They're fucking cool. And I was like, yeah, sure. I sell them, you want one? Yeah, $50. You know what I mean? Like, I think I made Tavi a record, and then at his party, people were like, oh, I want one too,
Yeah.
I sold a couple, just right then and there. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then, like, I would just start posting it online, and then, like, it just blew up. I just got more and more into it. I took it more serious, and it's like another thing. Besides, like, the advertising art classes that I was taking, I barely remember anything that I learned. I never really took any art lessons. I just kind of, I take a little bit from each other artist that I like, and I just put my own take on it, and I love it. I enjoyed it. It's my total outlet besides music. And it's another thing I just put everything into, I just put 100% into it. And I just, it's been really great for me. It's really, it helps me pay my bills. It's been awesome, and it's really, it's funny just how far it's even took me. It just proves, and it was great because the thing is with me, there's so many artists that are incredible. I couldn't even hold a candle to. But being in the band helps, you know what I mean? Having that platform to leap off of, and just being in the band and, having, a little bit more Instagram followers than like most people would have, more people could see my stuff.
Sure.
And I think it's kind of cool for people to actually buy something from the guy in the band, especially if I do an AF piece, or it's kind of special to people. That's why I was doing like those CBGB's pieces. I still sell them, like I'll do a CBGB's vinyl and I'll tell people like, what's your 4 favorite bands? I'll tag them on the building. This way each piece is like an individual. You have to kind of find things that people really, people want, something that's special to them, and I did. That's what I kind of concentrate on trying to do, and then I just do what I love. I do classic movies, characters, cartoon characters. I mix it with a little graffiti, a little pop art, and I've kind of somewhat, got my own style. Not like I'm doing anything so fucking original, but it's kind of my own thing, and I love it. I enjoy it. I love it. It's like, I can't. It's like, another thing is, I think I just fucking being on the road so much, I got a little burnt out as far as playing music. You know what I mean? Like it's just so much. I needed something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was another outlet for creativity. Yeah,
and it just kind of the art and the music goes hand in hand, and it's been awesome for me. And I just love it. I love it so much. It's I can't tell you what I like more, playing music or art.
Sure.
It's all it all kind of ties together for me. It works for me. It's really been, it helps me pay my bills. That's it. That's just that's my thing.
But it even shows, like, the passion you have for music comes out in your art, because your art's on, not all of it, but a lot of it especially when it started, was on vinyl. You were painting on vinyl.
Yeah.
And then it's like also the streets where, you know, it was a mix of like graph art or even like kind of stencil fucking graph type art. Like, you know, just all kinds of, you could see a mixed media, but it was all like coming from the same place. You could see that it would, you know, I'm not trying to get too like into the analysis of it because I don't know, but it seems like the same process for doing one of those records would be the same way, you know, it's coming from the same type of place where you would go to write a song that would be on a record, you know, it's like the same kind of influences behind it.
Without a doubt, you know, and it's just like I said, like even when I was a kid, like, and I would try, even now, you're like, oh, this fucking riff is dope, you know what I mean? Like, you learn the riff, and then like, you kind of try, you know, you're like, I want to do something similar to that. You put your own take on it. It's the same thing I do. I see like an art piece that I like, and I'm like, I like those colors. Let me try to kind of put that color scheme into this painting that I'm doing. I think it'll work good. You know what I mean? Or just like same thing with music. You know, like that riff sounds great. It'll, you know, I'll do something similar to that riff, and I'll put it with the other riff that I wrote. Tie that together. You know, like everything ties together. You know what I mean? And it's not biting. Everybody needs influence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as long as you're not completely fucking ripping it off, you put your own take on it, you know?
It's you know, and it's like it's a source of inspiration. That thing drove you to create something. You're not creating a replica of that thing. You're creating your own thing, but that's what was the thing, the inspiration that was the impetus behind you wanting to create something.
Absolutely. You know, everybody's got influences and heroes, and you know, I mean, so many people just like, you know, influenced by Joe Strummer, and you know, I mean, the list goes on. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, it's just I'm just very fortunate. I'm very lucky to actually be able to keep doing this. You know, I'm basically playing music and making art, and that's how I'm getting by. I mean, hopefully, who the fuck knows what's going to happen with the rest of the world? Hopefully, I'll be able to continue it. You know, who knows what's going to happen? But that's my goal. I hope to get back on the road and keep making art, and just that's it.
Yeah. What's your plan when your new studio is done? Are you going to do you have like, you know, ideas for what the next phase of your art's going to be? Or you got like some new shit planned? Or is it, you're not going to talk about it yet? Or
I don't know if I really should. I tell you the truth. I'm definitely onto some bigger shit. I have a lot of, I mean, it's funny you even mentioned that. Like the buddy of mine that's helping me build this studio, we're working on a collaboration of something we're going to do that we're hoping that really, really takes off. I guess I could talk about it a little bit. You know, I'm actually looking, what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to make furniture.
Okay.
I'm looking to make furniture, but very like artistic type stuff. You know what I mean? I let one cat out of the bag, which is kind of cool. We're working on it now. This is why I need a bigger space to do all this stuff. We're working on, which is going to be really cool, like a table that's actually a cassette tape.
Nice.
But it's going to be like my artwork on it. So it's going to be like very artistic, but super modern and kind of Art Deco-ish and like really cool shit. You know, I mean, we've had, you know, a lot of stuff is made. We just have to finish some stuff, and that's why I'm trying to finish the studio. And I'm definitely, I'm hoping to take it to the next level with that. I mean, it's really, if things come out the way that we're planning, it could be really fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah, man.
So I'm really excited to do that. And that's, you know, I just feel like, you know, you have to try to push yourself to always do more, always do better, always, you know what I mean? I'm always striving for more. I think that's like, you get stale doing the same shit. You know what I mean? Like, you have to just, you know, keep doing what you do and what you love. And you just got to try and you know, reinvent yourself. You know what I mean? As far as like, I mean, if I'm doing music, then I was being a barber, you know, now I'm doing art. And then I started, you know, doing really well with that. And now I want to take things to another level where I sell things for more money and just really put out some original stuff.
Sure.
Something, something nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking to do.
Well, it sounds like it's bigger undertakings. Like you're not just painting on. No, I'm not discounting it, but you start paint on vinyl, but now you're making furniture. So you obviously have expanded your repertoire and are pushing it further. And doing bigger things. So,
Absolutely.
fuck yeah, man. Well, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stoked to see that.
Thank you.
Obviously, I'm sure I'll see
I
it,
am
but
too.
shoot me some pictures
I
too.
can't wait. Absolutely. I can't wait. I can't wait to finish this fucking thing. But like, this is the thing that like we want to put an extension on the shed. I thought it was going to be like a 2-3 day project. It's becoming like a 2-3 month project.
Yeah.
It's like fucking insane. But when this is done, it'll be fucking so sick and so cool. Then I'll actually have real space to work, and it'll be nice. I put a deck out in front, where I could put a table out in front of the deck and like paint out there.
Sure,
I went all out.
No, it's basically if you ever go to sell your property, you can sell that as a guest house. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like you have it all finished inside. Like you said, you put up drywall and you got electricity pumping through there. It's not a shed, it's another structure. Yeah.
Love shack.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah, dude. I can't wait to see the furniture stuff, though. You got to send me some pictures when that comes through.
Yeah, I will. I definitely will.
Fuck yeah.
We're like halfway there.
Also, what else you got going on? I know, outside of the realm of COVID lockdowns, there's more things I want to ask you about Agnostic Front, but before we get into that, what's been going on with Stigma? Like is that a project you guys just kind of pick up every now and then, or is it, do you have something going on with that?
Stigma's a fun thing. We have a lot of fun with that. I can't tell you the amount of fun that we've had doing it, just from recording both records and just the guys that we got in the band. We've had just tons of fun with, and it's just a fun thing. It's just hard. The thing is now it's tough with a family to be in more than one band.
Sure.
I would really love to do it more if I didn't have a wife and kid, and I would go on tour with both bands.
Sure.
Actually, you know what? That's not true. Because like at the time when I had the opportunity to do it, it was just too much. Being in two bands is a lot. There's some dudes that do it. Like I don't know how Craig did it. It's fucking insane. I can't. It's too much. It's just way too much to be in two touring bands.
Yeah.
It's just not enough time to do anything else, but we have fun with it, We try to play at least like once a year. I was doing the Boots and Brushes event, which is like an event I put together where bands play and a couple of artists get to show their work, and a couple of DJs. It was like bands, DJs, and art. And it was the first one we did. I had to cancel this year, obviously, because of this fucking COVID shit.
Yeah.
But it was a great event. It was a lot of fun. So we were doing that, and Stigma band. We would play. And I had them to play, obviously, this one too. And I figured that would be like our annual thing. Have the Stigma band play. I could show my art. I could have other artists put them on so they could show their stuff, and a couple of DJs, bunch of friends, just hang out and have a good time. You know what I mean? Like. So that's, it's hard to say if we're going to do anything else really with the Stigma band. I don't know, we'll try to play once a year.
Sure.
Unfortunately, this year's a fucking wrap. So that's that. But, we had a great time with that. I've learned so much being in that band, working with so many other musicians and, Jamie Joster. It really helped me learn how to write songs better, and, that was a fun project. That was really great. It definitely helped me in so many other ways. It's just like even playing different, because obviously it's not just like a hardcore band. It's more, punk rock and roll, whatever. It's just good. Yeah. I think it's just good, fun music.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, I've learned a lot. Even so many musicians that we had help us with it as far as Jamie, Freddie, Phil Cavano, so many, amazing, established musicians. I've learned so much from, and it was a great experience. Roger was doing his dances at the time, and he was on the road a lot with that. So we were like, fuck it, like we were hardly doing AF shit at the time,
Sure,
so we were like, fuck it, let's just do our own thing, and It was good. Even the bands both played together. We went on tour together. It's fun. It's good to do other stuff, because sometimes with AF, as open mind as we touch on all kind of bases, but it's fun to do other stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely, man. And that must be fun to do the if like AF did 260 dates last year, you probably wouldn't want to do them all with both bands, you know what I mean? But it must be fun when there's a Stigma and AF like show like in the same the same bill, you know what I mean? Because it's like you guys come out, do the Stigma stuff, come back out 20 minutes later, do the AF stuff. But they're two different kind of entities with two different sounds, so it's not like a that'd be cool to see them together. But no plans of recording anything new with that?
I don't think so. I mean, who knows? If anything, we may do like an EP, something 3-song EP, something.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah.
You never know. I try to pour my heart into songwriting with AF now because it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even like giving songs away anymore,
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of times I wrote a Stigma song. It's like, I could have been a good AF song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
And like AF is like my bread and butter. That's like,
Sure.
But so it's like, I don't know. Who knows? We'll probably do something again. You never know. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? I just hope we can get on the road again. So we'll see what's up.
Yeah.
But you never know.
What's up with AF? You guys record anything new?
Well, I mean, we just put out a new record.
Yeah.
That's just like, and we didn't really get a chance to tour it.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's fucking true. Like, because it feels like that record's old now. No, I'm not saying that in a bad way. It doesn't feel like it's a new record because, you haven't got the fucking tour on that. It's fucking nuts.
We haven't. We really did. It's weird. Like, the timing was just off. Like, as far as, like, we recorded it, and then, like, we recorded it and we were like, Roger's like, we got to record this record before the end of the year. And we were like, wow, okay. That doesn't give us much time. We wound up recording it in the summertime. And it wound up coming out great. I think it's a fucking great record.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. I hope it doesn't fall through the cracks now because we never had time to get out there. Or maybe it'll just have time to get out there and people will really get into it. And we play some songs. Maybe it'll be great. I don't really know. It sucks, To be honest with you, we haven't written anything at the time. We just put that record out. So it's just like, I like to go out there and really try to push this record.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, it is a good time to start writing new stuff. Well, I guess we could, We'll have to see what happens. I don't really know.
I know you guys live all over the place now. What's kind of the songwriting process like now? Like with like Craig in Boston, you in Jersey, Roger in Arizona, and Vinny still.
Things are easier with the internet. I'll write a bunch of stuff. Craig will write a bunch of stuff. We'll get together. We'll jam on it. We'll do some stuff at sound check. We're on the road so much. We did most stuff at sound check.
Sure.
That's kind of how most things came together. And that's pretty much what we do, And then me and Roger do all the lyrics. We send we'll record we'll just press fucking record on the iPhone, get a bullshit recording of a song. And then we'll write the lyrics and then we'll just be like, hey, this needs to be longer, that needs to be longer, this needs to be cut out. There's so much stuff to cut out, and we just work on it on the road together, and just that's pretty much the only way we really do it, And I guess being together a lot on the road helps.
Yeah, sure.
So it was pretty much we just try to work out on the sound check as much as possible, And then like GarageBand will do vocals and to really to get the vocals and the lyrics together, and we'll work on that together, and that's pretty much how we do it.
It's awesome.
So we can, I don't know, maybe we'll start, who the hell knows? I mean, I might start getting itchy. You want to start like writing. I just got a new bass from ESP that I haven't played.
Yeah.
I think I played it twice since they gave it to me. It's so fucking busy.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I gotta start playing. I haven't been playing much. I want to get back into that. You know, maybe I'll just start writing some stuff. It might be a good time to do it.
Sure.
And we could bounce ideas back and forth to each other. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
You know what amazes me about, and this isn't blowing smoke, like, but AF has such a long career and has so many fucking records out, but every record has at least one or two anthems on them. You know, and when I say anthem, you know what I mean by anthem, like, you know, not just a standout song, a song that becomes fucking anthemic, like, and it's like, how the fuck are you guys, you know, still able to do that all these years later? And it's simple. It's like, cause you guys still all live it. And like you said, it's like, you know, it comes from within, but I just want to give you guys like a shout out of props for that, man, because, you know, like every record to me has like, not just a standout song, but like a fucking anthem on it, and it's fucking crazy because it's not a lot of bands can do that.
I appreciate it. No, you know, and we don't really go into it saying, "Hey, we want to try and do that." We just, I don't know, we just fucking try to write, you know, stuff that we feel that we love. You know what I mean? Like I don't just put, you know, it's hard to really say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know, I mean, Roger's really great at what he does, and you know, it's just a good group of people meshing well together and writing well together. And you know, we got Craig on board now, and he's brought other things to the table, and it's just, you know, I don't know. I think it's just the right chemistry. You know, I mean, Roger's a workhorse, man. You know, and I'm a workhorse myself. You know what I mean? I you know, I'm the type of person that just like. I can't sit there, you know, I mean, it's hard for me to like just doing this whole interview. I'm standing up and talking, you know, I can't sit down. I can't, you know, I always have to do something, you know. My wife, she loves a lot of TV. She likes to chill, especially after a long day. Me, I like to work on stuff till I'm ready to drop.
Fuck yeah.
You know, I mean, I have my moments where I just fucking chill, but for the most part, man, I'm doing shit. You know, I'm either creating art or playing music or keeping busy doing something, and that's you know, I think that's the key. That's you know, I've always grown up with a pretty strong work ethic, and I think that's what makes the wheels turn. You know, to keep us going. I think, you know, Roger's another one.
Oh yeah, no, I know he's serious. You know,
well, he is. You know, he really is, and he is yeah, he's a serious guy, you know what I mean? He puts his heart and soul into everything, you know. He's really been an inspiration, you know. Stigma's been an inspiration in other ways. He has such a genuine heart, and just his presence is just fucking like no other, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, the two of those guys are a really good combination of just heart and soul.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And it shows in what we do, you know.
Sure.
It really does, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Those guys have really given me, you know, they've given me a great life. You know what I mean? They've always been really good to me, fair to me. And, you know, that's why Agnostic Front's been around for fucking, I don't know, 40-something years now.
Yeah. Crazy. It's crazy, man.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It really is.
And, you know, and kind of to go back to the anthem thing is like, I don't think you can ever seek to write an anthem. I think you just write from within, and that turns into a fucking anthem because it resonates and hits everybody. And the thing is like, you guys have so much time in this and like are so real about it that of course you're gonna fucking write them, you know, because you're not even intentionally writing them. It just comes out.
No.
And
you're not gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna write a hit right now. You know? You know.
Yeah.
You hope that everyone's a hit, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone really sticks.
Yeah. And,
you know?
And fucking, you know, one thing about, you know, when you bring up like Roger and Vinny and the relationship and the band and the history, like, yeah, they both have their fucking presence, like, and they're completely different energies, you know, different presences, but you would never meet like two of the most like nicest, like outgoing guys for you than ever. Like, you know, Roger's quieter or whatever, but I remember years ago going to like a Rumblers show, you know, when they were still in Brooklyn under the bridge and Roger taking time just to like, and this is before I was even really tight with him and knew him, was like, like I'd only met him at shows when I was a kid, and he'd like, this whole big event that he's kind of putting on is going on. And he's like, oh, let me show you. This is like, oh, you're here from Boston. And he walked me around Brooklyn, like, you know what I mean? To show me where the best spots were. Like, oh, if you want to slice, go over here. I'm going to bring you over here and do this. And it's like, he doesn't got to do that. And he's taking time out of his day. Like they're just like real, like genuine dudes. Like in Stigma, like he meets you once and he knows your name and is calling you on your birthday and fucking or texting you on your birthday. And sick. You know what I mean? It's just fucking nuts. Like he doesn't forget a face, or even if he has just like a nickname for you or whatever. Like you see, it's been like 3 years, you'll see him be like, hey, whoa. And I just see him do it to countless people. Like, and it's like,
oh yeah.
He's just definitely a man of the people right there.
He really is. He's a fucking piece of work, boy. God, I can't even get it. I can't even get into him. He's fucking sick. He's not human. The guy is not human.
We gotta do. We could have done a whole podcast just on the life of times of you two when you lived together on Mott Street. Oh, right. That should have been a fucking reality show more than anything.
Wow, I almost was. Almost. Let me tell you something, and I am so fucking happy it didn't go through.
Yeah. Because
again, I don't even know what my life would have been if that really did, and I'm really glad it didn't happen.
Yeah.
They had. We filmed like a whole trailer for it.
Did they call it a sizzle reel or something?
I don't know what forget what they called it, but like it was very close to being picked up. Oh, it almost got picked up by Fuse, and they fucking loved it. But they actually said like the music was just the music wasn't commercial enough. Like it wasn't. You know what I mean? And that was the non-selling point. Like musically, it was still too raw.
Yeah.
Like we weren't Blink it wasn't like poppy like Blink 182.
Sure.
And if it was, and Stigma Man has some poppy type stuff, but it wasn't pop.
Yeah.
Punk.
No, I know.
It was more fucking punk rock.
Yeah.
But like kind of like Dead Boys and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like. I remember some people be like, "Oh, it's punk. It's like pop punk." Like that ain't pop punk. No. It's like it's just not tough guy hardcore. Like,
yeah.
Give me a fucking break. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But like, the music wasn't poppy enough, and that didn't happen. I'm very happy it didn't happen. I don't want my fucking life televised. Like
sure, yeah.
I mean, at the point, I was kind of didn't give a shit. I was a lot younger, but I'm so glad that didn't happen. It really didn't. Christ. God.
Yeah, no. Dude, I can 100% empathize with that. I think we've been approached at least 5 times to do a show, like a reality show with Chophead. And we even got to the point where we filmed a pilot, like a legit pilot. Like we had some where we filmed like those little like sizzle reel, like preview type things. But we had one where we actually filmed like a whole legit pilot with like a real production company. Some of the guys that were involved in that are on like some of the more major shows on True TV right now. And I'm not going to get into the whole thing with it. But at the end of the day, all I can say is I'm so fucking happy none of them went through. And that's the fucking thing with reality shows and reality TV. It's so fucking not, and you get all these people.
So not reality.
Yeah. Like 5 different production companies have hit us up and be like, you guys, what you do is awesome. You fucking awesome characters, blah, 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 the Boston thing, blah, blah, blah. And we want to do something with you. And I'm like, all right, come down. I don't, the first time I was like, all right, they come down and like, blah, 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 and we film this. And they're like, all right, now can you do this and do that? And I'm like, no, that's not what I would really do, And it's like, well, for this, we need you to do this. And I'm like, no, that's not what I do, And I was like, you motherfuckers approached me because you liked me. And my partner, like you approached us. We didn't approach you. You called us because you liked us as characters. This is what it is. Like, I'm not changing who I am for a fucking TV show. I could give a fuck.
No.
And they're like, well, think about how much merch you'll sell and this and that. And I'm like, And I was like, and think of how much integrity I will fucking lose. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not going to do some shit that we don't do just for the sake
Nope.
of a TV show. I could give a fuck less. I was like, if they want to do the
Absolutely.
shit we do, and that's cool. Like, but if you want to make a fantasy like and call it a reality show, that I ain't doing that. I ain't nobody's fucking clown, and I
Nope.
don't have
Nope.
much in life, but like, you know, I have integrity and have what I've built, and like I don't want that tarnished for the sake of like trying to sell a couple extra T-shirts to some fucking doofuses at Walmart that don't really give a shit about
Exactly.
motorcycle culture. They just saw the show on TV and blah blah blah. But whatever,
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. But I'm sure it was kind of probably, you know, I'm sure we can relate on some aspects with that stuff, you know. But
Totally.
but yeah, fuck yeah, man, dude. So 20 years in Agnostic Front, like, what's been? There's got to be something. What's kind of been like a standout or the standout moments for you, whether it's a specific show or something else? Like, what's like, you know, and you don't have to get into like crazy stuff, but like for you, like what's been some of your favorite kind of experiences, whether it's on the road or recording or whatever? Like, what are some of the?
I mean, I think it's hard to say if there's like a standout point. I mean, like the thing that I love so much about it is like the fact that like I've made friends all over the world. Like anywhere I go, for the most part, there's somebody there that I can say that's a friend. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And you just like just seeing the way different people live gives you a different aspect on that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, trying different foods and seeing how different people live, and it really changes you. You know what I mean? It gives you a different outlook on how you look at life. You know, it's like so many people, like, I don't know, haven't even left the town that they live in. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And you know, by traveling, you learn so much. You know what I mean? Just like meeting different people and seeing their experiences, and that's what I love most about it. You know, just like the seeing different cultures and like fucking seeing the same place. You know, there's so much more life to see. There's so many beautiful countries, and there's so much out there. Like, God, I tell anybody, forget even just being in a band. Like, as a person, just get out there and travel. There's so many beautiful cities, and you know, a lot of people are like, oh, every city's kind of similar. And yeah, but it's just like there's so much more out there. You know what I mean? There's just so much more to life than just where we are, where we live. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, America is built on people from all over the world. You know what I mean? That's what we were built on. You know, it's good to just go out there and see how other people live. You know, and that's why, honestly, that's like, you know, there's so many things I really do love about Europe and everywhere else. But like, that's why I mean, as fucking crazy as America is, you know, I love America.
Sure.
I really do. You know,
Sure.
I love where I live. You know, I may not like everything that goes on here or the government that runs it, you know, but like, it makes me, you know, I come back, I'm just like, I miss this place. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So many
yeah.
things that we could do here that you can't do there. And there's things you could do there you can't do here. Life is an experience, you know what I mean? And just like, I think the best part of it is meeting different people. You know, you meet, that's the greatest part of it, you know, just definitely meeting different people, and people, everyone's different, you know, and I got friends all over the world. I think that's the greatest thing ever. That's the greatest part about it, you know, and, you know, playing different stages with different people and seeing how different people are, just like the crowds in Brazil and South America is just different from Europe, you know, and different from America, and just like, you know, like seeing and meeting these people, and especially just like, you know, people coming up to you and say, man, you know, your music, and even like some of the music that I've written, you know, people come up to me, man, that song has got me through, you know, some of the hardest of times, and that's just like, it's pretty incredible just to hear somebody just think that you made a difference by a song you wrote. You know what I mean? Like, it's incredible. Like, touring is, it's definitely changed me forever. It really has. And, I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world. I really wouldn't, you know. I'm trying to think of like a standout point. I can't think. I'm on the spot. I could never.
Sure, yeah, I know.
I'll
I'm
call
sure.
you tomorrow. I'm like, dude, this is what I wanted to say. You know, like, you know,
I know.
It's hard to say like a standout point. It's definitely like maybe shows or that I might have had the most fun at, or
Well, what's been one of the more funnest shows to play?
I
that
can
you've
tell
played?
you. I can tell you one experience. Okay, so there's this one time we were playing in South America, and there was like one extra show. They wanted us. In fact, it was like the tour was supposed to be not cut short, but they added one extra day. It was like a festival, and it was like I think we were in Brazil, and we played like right outside it. And the festival kind of sucked. It rained. The sound was just ridiculous. It was just so horribly organized. It was ridiculous. So whatever. And then the next morning we went to get flights back, and the airport just closed. There was just like none of flights that day or whatever. So they closed it down. Like, well, like how are we gonna get back home? Like, what do you mean? Scrambling to get flights. They got us, so they wound up getting us another flight about like an hour and a half away, and they had some guy come pick us up and brought us through the mountains of Brazil, and we were all we all thought we were going to die, because when we were going through these mountains that were like fucking insane. This guy's whipping around them, and we're like, holy shit! We finally got to the airport. And it was just like, I mean, our flight was leaving in like, there was no time to go through security or anything. So the guy who was with us hopped out, explained them the story of what was going on. They put us on the plane with our equipment and everything. No shit. They was like, just go. We got right on that plane, and it brought us back to like, I forget where we were flying at us, but like, how did that even happen? That shit would never fly in America.
No,
There's fucking no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
It was the scariest ride of my life. I swear when I say this guy was flying through the mountains, like, it was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You can ask Craig, you can ask any of these guys.
Yeah.
It was scary. Like, I thought we were going to, I was like, how are we going to get through? How is this going to happen? We're not going to catch the flight. We're like, dude, tell this guy, maybe, dude, slow down. Forget it. We're not making this flight. It's not happening. Like, forget it. You're like, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm fucking scared for my life here. You know, I got fucking kids at home, wife and kid. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, is this worth doing? Like, this is fucking nuts.
And I'm sure
sure enough, we made it.
Road is a pretty loose term, I'm sure, in the mountains out there, and I'm sure there's no guardrails over cliffs or any of that shit. Like, I've been on roads like that. I know what you're talking about.
It was scary, dude. That was just, I'll never forget that in my life. That was to go play a bullshit show. We should have just fucking went home the next day. It was so not worth it, but wow. I guess it actually kind of was, because I'll never fucking forget it, man.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was completely insane. It was really the wildest ride of my life. I remember Roger, I think he had to come in the back seat, because he was just like, I'm going to fucking puke.
Yeah.
he gets car sick, you know? He's like, this is nuts. This is fucking really insane. But we made it through.
Did Stigma have a bandana over his eyes, sleeping like a baby?
Oh, yeah, you know.
Yeah, he didn't get
yeah. He'll sleep anywhere. No, he was scared too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy could sleep anywhere.
I know.
Fucking holy shit, you know?
That's one of the things.
End of the world.
Yeah, it's one of the things I look forward to most when you guys go on tour is Craig's post of just him with Stigma sleeping on his side.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll sleep through a fucking war.
Fucking, well.
Not mad.
That guy's put in a lot of work in life. He's earned his rest.
Oh, yeah. He actually has. But the funny thing is, like, Roger said that he was like that when he was like 20. He's always been like that. Nothing changes that guy. You can't change him. They broke the mold with that man.
Oh, absolutely.
Holy shit.
Well, I think it's a good story, man, and you got like just the story of the band and like the characters in it, like with like Roger and Vinny and you and Craig and Kapula and everybody that's been in the band over the since like the 80. Was it when they start 80?
Like Atari.
80?
82.
82.
I think their first.
81?
I think 82 is pretty much their. When they really started.
Okay.
I think that's when they started. Is 82.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I believe.
So it's almost 40 years, and fucking, that's just nuts. And, one of the things, and I've talked about before, is like, like when we got into punk and hardcore and all that, there was only a few years before us. Imagine a kid getting in now where there's like 40 something years of like history, like of punk rock and hardcore. That's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's a huge back catalog, you know?
It's a funny thing because if you think about it, like the younger kids, like that are into like the younger, like, you know, kind of like we're like Led Zeppelin to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? If you think about it, like,
oh, of course, yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, you know, so it's like a lot of times, like sometimes, like we have trouble getting some of the younger kids shows, and we get, you know, our crowd is a little more older, and you know, but like it's just, you know, like, you know, I guess it's hard for them to relate to us. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like the music's all the same, but like I don't know, like when I was a kid, it was cool to be into the old school bands.
Sure.
I don't think kids give a shit anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because it's beyond. It's like beyond old school now. You know, 40 years ago. Old,
yeah.
But you know,
ancient school.
Yeah. But, you know, the crazy thing is that you guys are still out, still touring, still making new music, and there's still the crowd there that is people that were probably at shows in the early 80s still going to shows there, you know? And that to me shows nothing but how big of a part of people's lives this music is. Like, you know, like I started going to shows in 85 when I was 13. I'm still going to shows, you know, like,
wow.
And it, you know, and it's not just me. There's a lot of people that I know that have been around forever, you know, and it's like,
absolutely.
And I don't think there's other types of music where it's as prevalent, you know, where people are as that die hard about shit. And it's because the shit's fucking real.
There's something special about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Exactly. It was, you know, it was something from, you know, it just wasn't bullshit. You know what I mean? Like the music is genuine, you know, you know, the message, the music, the message, you know, is pure. It's you know, it's something that, you know, and it's just like, look, and you know what? Look, even, and it definitely ain't dying. I can tell you right now, even the younger bands, this band's like Turnstile, Knock Loose, like these fucking kids are they're drawing fucking like 1,000 kids a night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, you know, like we may not be, all right, you know, so we pass the torch to them. You know what I mean? Sure. Like, but we're still doing our fucking thing, and it ain't gonna stop us. You know what I mean? Like, we still do fucking good. You know, we can go anywhere anywhere in the world, and you know, we you know, we'll be playing in front of people. There's you know, our people are there, and that's fucking, you know, that's special. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing to be part of. You know, it's pretty incredible. You know, like we'll never stop. Like we have no, you know, this ain't gonna stop us. No fucking pandemic or whatever the fuck. Yeah. Nothing's gonna stop us. You know, we're gonna keep doing it till these guys can't do it physically anymore. We're just, you know, until we can't do it anymore. You know, but like we're not gonna stop. There's nothing's gonna stop us. We have no
tension.
You know, there's just nothing that, you know, nothing right now that's like, oh man, I don't know. So no, we're still, you know, got a new fucking record. We want to play a new song. We want to get out there, you know, especially after this. We're hungry.
Fuck yeah.
Might make us even hungrier.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And another thing with AF too is it's now, you know, think about all the bands that AF has kind of helped influence through the years, you know, like, you know, it's fucking nut. You know, the people I see wearing AF shirts, like in like bands, like I'm like, wow, that's so fucking nuts, dude. Like, you know, like from Metallica dudes, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's
Moby, all sorts of like, you know, bands from all over the world. You know, even like Phil Fantana always says Rogers is his biggest influence. You know,
it's crazy.
You know, they've affected. You know, their music was powerful enough to reach a lot of people, you know, and it still is today. It's fucking great, you know, like hardcore in general is a special thing that, you know, for the most part, I mean, it's underground. It'll always be underground, you know, because not everybody gets it. But I've brought so many of my friends to shows that they just, you know, it's not their thing, but they're like, wow, this is pretty fucking intense. Like we didn't expect this. Is great, you know, like you know, I've turned so many people into the music now I got a buddy of mine who I went to high school with, who never listened to the music, and he was like, "Fuck, man, how did I never get into this?" You know, like, and he's into it now. I'm like, man, you started late. You know, he like asks me all the time, like, who should I listen to? You know, it's so funny to me, but I think it's great. You know, I mean, you know, he's like, I can't believe I never listened to this back in the day with you guys. You know, like, because I know you guys run into the city and going to see shows, and you come back and hang out, and he's like, I can't believe I never went with you guys. You know, so I'm like, you really missed out because that was the time, but. Yeah, you know, it's a thing that's just like, you know, I don't care who you've seen the Who, you've seen this band, you've seen that band. There's nothing like a hardcore show, you know, like the crowd makes it, you know what I mean? It's a total interaction.
Yeah.
It's something different that, and all other musics they've all took from it, you know what I mean? It's a crazy thing. The one that bugs me out is like the fact that like, your average Joe dresses like a hardcore guy now.
I know.
Like back in the day, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, like
we were getting in fights over that shit. Yeah.
Now it's just like, you know, in Target, or that's what they sell, camo shorts and rock shirts, and you know what I mean, like chain belts, and it's you know, like they totally ripped our fucking shit off, and we don't get the credit for it.
No.
But whatever, fuck it, who cares?
You know, I
don't need the credit.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the fucking thing, too, is, you know, with the history of hardcore music, like, like the good stuff stays relevant. Like, if you listen to Victim in Pain now, like the messages on like those songs still resonate today, or even shit like Dead Kennedys I talk about, like Dead Kennedys stuff, like was just, you know, kind of zany punk rock stuff, but they were telling the truth, dude. Like this weird shit.
Yeah,
this
talking
shit
about how shit that's going on now.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know, and it's like, you know, like, you know, and I think that's what it comes down to, man. Just like punk and hardcore, like genuine shit. That shit's the fucking truth, dude, and it stays, you know. But
absolutely, it really does. That's why it's so powerful.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Well, dude, we've done a couple hours here, bud. Like anything that we
fucking talk.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. I can't wait. We still got to do another one sometime. I say this to a lot of people, but it's true. Like we got to do one where we just get fucking hang out and get hammered and fucking do one, dude. Like face to face, because it'll be more like, you know, this is good, you know, and it was a fucking awesome conversation and a good time. But I think face to face we'll have even more fun. You know what I mean? And
maybe we get Stigma involved.
Oh fuck yeah, man!
Or something, you know, like.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. You know, it's definitely cool. I enjoyed myself talking on these topics and just shooting the shit with you. You know what I mean? It was great. And I miss you guys. I miss all you guys out there, you know. You know, I love Boston.
Yeah, no, I know, dude.
I try to come up there, you know.
Worst comes to worst, we'll see you in September if we don't get to see each other earlier and hang out. You know what I mean? We'll be in September.
We all got to get together soon. Fuck
I know.
This shit. I'm over this fucking nonsense.
I know. Maybe we're gonna have a barbecue upstate or something. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
But fucking, where can people? I know I've given out the Agnostic Front links before, but as far as for you personally, where can people find out more information about you or your artwork and stuff you got going on with that? You know,
I'm pretty easy to find on Instagram. I think Mike Gallo 1975 or Gallo Originals. You could see, you know, I don't really post much personal stuff. I just post band stuff. I post art stuff.
Sure.
I try not to get too personal online.
Yeah.
I really just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But you know, it's pretty easy to find. You know, I have my own website, and if you go in my Instagram, the link is in my bio. I worked very hard on my webpage to get everything going. I have a lot of my designs on T-shirts and hoodies and pillows and all sorts of crazy shit. I work with a company that prints and ships for me, so I don't have to have all this stuff here. So I have tons of cool stuff online you can see and you can buy. And it's just been a little crazy now because everything's understaffed and things are taking. I haven't even advertised much because orders take like 6 weeks to do, and you know, hopefully things will get back to normal and I'll start advertising again. And I feel like it hasn't been worth it lately because it's just so crazy. You know what I mean? Like I feel bad. Anyone orders you're gonna wait like fucking 2 months to get an order. It's just like it's a lot, and constantly emailing people or not getting stuff, and stuff's getting lost in the mail because everything's getting mailed. Like everything is just like everything is behind. You know what I mean? So that's been a little frustrating. But yeah, you could see my art on my Instagram page, Mike Gallo 1975, Gallo _originals. There's a link in my bio to my website, and that's where you can see my stuff.
Yeah, and your website is just gallo-originals.com, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
It is. Yeah. Like I said, the link's in my bio. You can click right onto it. It's super easy to search around and find what you're looking for. I worked really hard on it. I had a friend of mine. The website looks incredible. And then this whole shit happened. So,
well, hey,
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, I definitely just want to make sure people can find you and to be able to check that out, and
I appreciate that, man.
But yeah, dude, so definitely want to thank you for coming on today and, calling, I know it sucks to do it over the phone, but we'll do one in person. But I still think this was a real fun and good and informative conversation. We covered some real shit. Then we talked about some punk rock shit. You talked about the world. We talked about your art. I think it was a good all around conversation. And I want to thank everyone for listening today. Make sure you check out Gallo's art and buy a piece or commission a piece of furniture or a piece of artwork and own some American history, right? And then check out the new Agnostic Front record. And
Get Loud.
Yeah, and then it's that's pretty much available everywhere now, right? Like,
yeah, oh yeah, it's on Nuclear Blast Records. It's available everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I'm so pissed that we can't really talk to this record. I mean, we really feel for. We think I think it's a great record. I mean, Agnostic Front has done so many different things. And even this record is. I think we touched on a little something different on this one as well. It's a little bit. All our new records are a little bit of a touch on everything we've done, but each record still sounds different.
Sure, absolutely. And has a little piece of something that's relevant to the time as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Which you have to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Course. Yeah.
But, so, check out the record. It's just like, hopefully
fuck the record. Check out the whole discography, man. You got a lot of hours of music to listen to. You got nothing but time right now, motherfuckers. To check it out if you haven't.
Now's the time.
You could probably go on Spotify and listen to the whole damn discography, right?
Feel the shit. I don't give a fuck. Just listen to it. Come to a show and hang out. Whatever.
And in this time, support artists and artistry any way you can, because there's no unemployment check for professional musicians, and
absolutely,
and just spread the wealth around. And by wealth, I don't mean not everyone's wealthy, but if you're getting an extra $600 a week from the government to stay home, you got a little bit of extra that you can spread around a little bit to people that aren't getting that. That's what we do. We take care of each other and look out for other people in the same world. It ain't us versus them, dude. It's like we're all in this shit together.
No doubt.
But fuck yeah, man. I got to do a couple of commercials here. They're not even commercials. I just got to read a couple things from sponsors. You know a couple of these guys, so stick around if you want, and then I'll get off this. The first outside of Mike for coming on today, the first people I want to thank are Chop Cult. And Chop Cult is a news resource and social network and message board and blog dedicated to motorcycle riding and chopper building and chopper riding and everything in between. You can check them out at chopcult.com. They got weekly features, blog dumps, classifieds, so you can search for weird, rare parts and for your bike. And they have like a really active online motorcycle related forum. You can go there and just shoot the shit, talk shit, or look for information, tech information, anything you want, you could find it there. Membership's free, so it doesn't cost you nothing to go there and sign up. So check them out today, chopcult.com, or on any of the social media outlets like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, etc. Just simply at chopcult. Outside of that, if you haven't heard of Omerta, I don't know where you've been, but they're one of the the coolest streetwear and clothing brands out there right now, and it's run by two of our friends, Big C and Dirty Mick. They're based out of L.A. Well, they're East Coast expatriates that are heading out, that are out in L.A. right now. But dude, all their shit's made on, or most of it, wherever possible, it's made on heavy duty American-made clothing, and they make T-shirts, they make jackets, they make hoodies, they make socks, they make, whatever. They even make pomade if you want to slick your hair back. They make art prints, all that stuff, affordable prices, good messages. You've probably seen some of the shirts and not even known it. If you've seen like the Stop Glorifying Rats shirt, or Intimidate All Witnesses, or, just there's all kinds of cool designs, and some are just basic block letter shit. Some are very intricate designs. You can check them out at omertamia.com, OMERTAMIA. Again, omertamia.com. And on that's the same thing on Instagram, just at omertamia, and Facebook. As authentic as it fucking gets. So check them out and support. And on top of that, if you use the promo code Big Truth at checkout, you get 20% off your order. So, and I think right now, beyond that, you should check them out, because I think they're running a Father's Day sale right now where I don't know what the code is off the top of my head, but check them out at Omerta Mia on Instagram or Facebook, or go to their website. I think it's 35% off if you put in this special Father's Day code. So fuck my code right now. Go use the Father's Day code. You save 35% off your order, man. Like, it's like getting like almost a third of your shit for free. Actually, over a third of your shit for free. So you're not going to lose there. And you should also check out Pitchfork New York, pitchforkny.com. Boy Warren, he has a clothing company and a record label, been a staple in the hardcore scene for decades.
Oh,
and, I mean, how many Pitchforks shirts do you have, Gallo?
Oh, right.
Can't even count. Right?
I can't even count. Yeah. Absolutely. Same thing with Omerta,
Yeah, exactly.
These guys are great. They've always been, they're just, putting out fucking cool streetwear,
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
So check that shit out, man.
Highly relevant, high quality, highly relevant streetwear. Both of them. Pitchforkny.com or omertamia.com. Warren over at Pitchfork also has a record label where he does a lot of split 7 inches, where he'll have an East Coast band on one side and a West Coast band on the other. For example, Rancid and Murphy's Law. He has the Eulogy and Sick of It All. Or the newest one is No Redeeming Social Value, and Thug Riot from Arizona on the other side. And a plethora of others. And he makes them in all kinds of different color combinations and collector color vinyls and whatnot. So you want to check that shit out, because it's going to be shit that, if you don't buy it now, they're limited runs, limited colors. Down the road, you're going to be like, fuck, dude, I remember when that came out and I didn't buy it and I fucking missed it. And now this record's $200 fucking or whatever. Yeah. When you could have bought it for $5 or whatever it is. But yeah, check them out. Pitchfork NY. Also, my shop is chopperhead.com. Well, my shop is Chopperhead Custom Cycles. We're an actual brick and mortar motorcycle shop, and with a showroom and parts counter and all of that. So you can come here. It's 13 County Road in Freetown, Massachusetts, if you're local. We actually had people, we got people stopping in here from all over the world. I've had people from Ireland come in here, people from Australia. It's a little bit of a destination shop if you're into choppers and shit, choppers and punk rock, right? But we're a full service motorcycle shop, do everything you need from an oil change to build you a full custom chopper and everything in between, whether you need some motor work done, you want to do some customization, you want to do some fabrication work, you need to do paint, you need to do audio install, whatever it is you need, give us a call, 508-995-6764. Check us out at chopperhead.com. Instagram is just at Chopperhead, and that's spelt in the most masshole of ways, which is CHOPPAHEAD. And on Facebook, it's Chopperhead Customs with a K, KUSTOMS. We got a line of clothing, not really a clothing line. We got a few shop shirts. You can if you can't afford a chopper, you can always afford a shirt. And all our men's T-shirts are made on 100% American-made, heavy-duty Bayside shirts. We also make some Kevlar-lined leather gloves. They're made out of deerskin leather, all made in the USA with Kevlar-lined palms and under the fingers for added protection in case you happen to have the misfortune of going down on your motorcycle or, I don't know, getting a knife fight or something. It's got that Kevlar lining that it helps a little bit with the abrasions, the cuts, and the stabs. So check them out. It's called the Defender gloves. And, last but not least, you can check out bigtruthpodcast.com for more information on the podcast and all the episodes. There's a little area where you can donate because I'm all the sponsors are friends of mine, and in 100% honesty, like there's no cash deals. Like I promote them, they promote me because we all have history and we're friends. The real sponsors of the show are people that actually make little small donations via Venmo or PayPal or whatever, and that helps me offset some of the costs of doing this, whether it's the monthly hosting or the equipment and whatnot. And I've been super grateful to everyone that's donated so far. So if you feel so inclined, if you got some content over the, if we've helped you through the COVID thing, I've gotten a lot of email from people saying, "Hey man, thanks just for talking with cool people and keeping me entertained during this while I'm stuck at home." And if you feel so inclined, send a couple bucks over. You don't have to, but I would appreciate it. But I don't care if you do or don't.
Nothing's free.
Yeah, I'm not begging.
Money to do.
Yeah, I ain't begging. I'll get by without it, and I'll keep doing this without it. But it definitely fucking helps, and it's definitely 100% appreciated. But that's it for today. I again want to thank Mike. Check out Gallo-Originals.com or Agnostic Front. Is NYHC or is it NY? Let me see.
I think it's NYHC.
Yeah.
Instagram, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you type in Agnostic Front, you'll see the official site come up.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to find these days.
Go to the official site. There's probably some little knockoffs here and there, and make sure you're getting official merch. Yeah, it's Agnostic Front NYC on Instagram. And that's it. We'll have more stuff coming up soon. Again, thank you for taking the time to listen to us today.